Live on a Saturday night, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the second of a three-game weekend series as the Grizzlies take on the Kansas City Mavericks. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Utah is 2-2 against Kansas City this season, and that's certainly big considering that Kansas City is in first place in the Mountain Division with a record of 36-10, 2-1. In fact, the Mavericks have the best record in the league, but last night it was the Grizzlies that really dominated action for the majority of the contest. Utah led 3-1 after one period, including two power play goals. Dylan Fitz, Cole Gallant, and Josh Wesley each had first period goals. Adam Berg extended Utah's lead to 4-1 last night as he scored 9:47 into the second period. Dylan Fitz made it a 5-1 game as he scored 9 seconds into the third period. Interestingly enough, the Grizzlies needed every goal there, including Fitz's early third period goals. The Mavericks just continued to battle. They scored 3 goals in the third period to turn a 5-1 Utah lead into a 5-4 game. And then Dylan Fitz completed the hat trick as he scored 18:36 into the third period. And then Aaron Aragon added an empty netter with 20 seconds left in regulation as the Grizzlies won the series opener 7-4. Kansas City outshot Utah 35-27, but the Grizzlies, even if it wasn't necessarily a big quantity, they certainly got a lot of quality among their shots in last night's game. Certainly a big factor to Utah's victory last night was them winning the special teams battle, as they were 2 for 4 on the power play, and they were a perfect 5 for 5 on the penalty kill, including 2 big penalty kills halfway through the third period. We'll see what happens tonight. Obviously, it's going to be a good matchup between two good teams. Utah has been outstanding since Christmas, and that's over the last 25 games since the Christmas break. Utah has won 16 games. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And we'll also talk about Dylan Fitz's hat trick, as he became the first Grizzlies player to get to score 3 goals in a game this season. When was the last time the Grizzlies had a hat trick? We'll talk about that coming up on the other side. And we'll talk about some of the other players who have been hot for the Grizzlies, as well as Brett Stapley, who had 1 assist last night. Stapley yesterday celebrated his 25th birthday. In net for the Grizzlies is going to be Dante Januzzi. He leads the Grizz with 11 wins this season. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm hanging out in the Grizz Cave just outside the Grizzlies team store. And one time zone to the east, the Grizzlies are at Cable Dahmer Arena to take on the Mavericks. Face-off is in about 12 minutes from now, and we'll have it right here on Flow Sports for the video feed, and obviously YouTube for the audio stream. And those are exclusive homes of Grizzlies hockey all season long. We'll come back and talk about Dylan Fitz's hat trick, and we'll talk about who's been hot for the Grizzlies as of late, as we're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
Smith's always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Smith's app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm. And our lights on. It's the power behind the team. And a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-off in about 10 minutes from now over at Cable Dahmer Arena. Last night, Dylan Fitz scored 3 goals as he became the first Grizzlies player to register a hat trick this season. It was Fitz's second professional hat trick as he scored 3 goals for Orlando in a 6-2 victory against Wheeling back on January 14th of 2022. For my money and my memory, the last time the Grizzlies had a hat trick was Brandon Cutler's 4-goal game against the Rapid City Rush on January 27th of 2023. That's at least the last hat trick that I can remember a Grizzlies player getting. I remember 2 years ago, Charles-Edouard Dastu had a couple playoff hat tricks. Ben Tardif had a hat trick that season as well. It's interesting, though, as good as Jordan Martell was at scoring goals at the second half of last season, it appeared that he had no more than 2 goals in any game. for the Grizzlies in the second half of the season. So, to see a guy score 3 goals seems to be a rarity for the Grizzlies, but Dylan Fitz did it with the 3-goal performance, and he scored 3 different ways. He scored on a power play goal in the first period. He scored 5-on-5, 9 seconds into the third period, and he also scored on an empty net with a minute and a half left in regulation. He has certainly been one of Utah's best players as of late. Kyle Mayhew had 2 assists last night, and Mayhew's been outstanding. You think about the Christmas break being a turning point for the Grizzlies this season. After all, when the Grizzlies went to the Christmas break after they lost to Idaho on December 23rd, the Grizzlies had a record of 8-17, and they were in last place in the Mountain Division. Since Christmas, over the last 25 games, the Grizzlies have a record of 16-8-1, and they are now in 4th place in the Mountain Division, 1 point ahead of the Allen Americans, and only 3 points behind the Tulsa Oilers for 3rd place in the division. Brandon Cutler and Brett Stapley each have 13 goals over the last 25 games, which is since the Christmas break. Tyler Penner leads all Grizzlies forwards in plus-minus at +7 since Christmas. And Kyle Mayhew leads the club with 18 assists after the Christmas break. So if you're talking about a turning point for the Grizzlies this season, it had to be when everybody was opening up the presents at Christmas, because that's where the season turned around for Utah. 8-17 before Christmas, and after that, they are 16-8-1. It's going to be important for both teams to get off to a fast start. Utah did so, scoring the first 2 goals in last night's game. The Grizz are 17-3-1 when scoring first this year, and that's also a big key for Kansas City, as the Mavericks are 25-3-1 when scoring first this year. It looks like they're showing the lineups. First time I've seen Kansas City's lineup, as they didn't give me the courtesy of showing it. Looks like the starting goaltender is Jack LaFontaine. Starting defensive pairing is Jacob Rahani, as well as Marc-Olivier Duquette. The starting forwards are Justin Notbar, who's got 8 fighting majors this year. Jacob Hayhurst, who's been really a Grizzlies killer over the course of the season. He has 5 goals and 4 assists against Utah this year. And Bradley Schumbart, who was just activated from injured reserve earlier today. He'll be in the lineup for Kansas City to start out. He's got 5 goals and 9 assists in 25 games. We got a different goaltending matchup than what we had last night. Last night it was Kel Morris for Kansas City, and he had a rough one, stopping only 20 of 25. Today, it's Jack LaFontaine making his 13th appearance this year. LaFontaine has a record of 9-2-0-1 with 1 shutout, a 2.39 goals against average, and .923 save percentage. LaFontaine is 6'3" and 209 pounds. Watch out for that top forward line of Patrick Curry, Nolan Walker, and Cade Borcher. They've certainly been dynamite for Kansas City this year, as well as Jeremy McKenna, not to be confused with the McKenna that's the linesman that does Grizzlies games every now and then, James McKenna. But Jeremy McKenna's got 12 goals in only 18 games this season. And David Cotton's certainly been key against Utah, as he's 6'3" and 190 pounds and a +15 on the season. So it's going to be interesting to see what Kansas City looks like here tonight. One notable scratch. Now they got the Grizzlies lineup, and it's the first time I've seen the starters, and it looks like it's the same starting 5 as we had in last night's game. Aaron Aragon's going to get the start for Utah. He had 1 goal and 1 assist last night. The Iron Man, Tyler Penner, is going to be in there, of course. He'll be making his 51st appearance this season. That's how many games the Grizzlies have played this year. And last night's hero, Dylan Fitz, who was the #1 star with 3 goals. He's in the starting lineup. Fitz has 11 goals and 11 assists this season. Starting defensive pairing, Kyle Mayhew, who's got 34 points this season, which is second most among all-league rookie defensemen. And Josh Wesley, the Grizzlies captain, who leads the league among all-league defensemen with 13 goals this year. Wesley's got 5 power play goals, which is tied for the club lead, and the 5 power play goals also leads all league defensemen. And the starting goaltender tonight is Dante Januzzi, who's got a record of 11 and 13 this year. He's got 1 shutout, which came on New Year's Eve against the Tulsa Oilers. He has a 3.35 goals against average and .901 save percentage. Januzzi, the former Portland Winterhawk of the WHL, is listed at 6'1" and 190 pounds. Grizzlies are wearing a white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim. I believe Kansas City, if it's the same jersey as last night, it's an orange jersey with white lettering in the back, white numbers in the back with black trim and a little bit of black on the shoulders. Looks like a decent crowd's filing into Cable Dom Arena. A little bit of a late arriving crowd as the face-off time is an hour and a half earlier than what it was last night. And remember, tomorrow afternoon's game is going to be an earlier start time. It's going to start at 3:05 in the Mountain Time Zone, 4:05 locally in Kansas City. I certainly wish the game was 2 hours earlier so I can go watch Victor Wembanyama play in person. But nevertheless, the Grizzlies have a late afternoon face-off tomorrow afternoon. It's the second of a 3-game set. The Grizzlies have been outstanding since the Christmas break, and they're just one game below 500 with a record of 24, 25, and 1. Utah's been outstanding on the road as of late. Remember, the Grizzlies started the season 0 for 11 on the road, but the Grizzlies have played a lot better away from Mavericks Center as Utah is, I think they're 8-6-1 over their last 15 road games. It's important for both teams to get off to a fast start, and we'll find out who gets off to that fast start coming up next, as we'll have face-off over at Cable Dahmer Arena. You've been listening to the Rio Tinto Kennecott pregame report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. Kansas City coming out of the tunnel, led by fourth-year head coach Tad O'Had. His assistant is the former Idaho Steelhead Riley Wazlowski. Kansas City's in first place in the Mountain Division with a record of 36-10-2-1, but they have lost 2 in a row as they lost last Saturday to the Wichita Thunder at home 5-3, and last night the Grizzlies won 7-4. They got the starting lineups. Watch out for Jacob Hayhurst. The speedster had 2 goals and 1 assist in the third period last night. He's got 22 goals and 28 assists. Kansas City's been one of the more high-powered offenses in the league. They average 4.2 goals per game, and they allow 2.8. Kansas City's got a pretty good power play unit, but the Grizzlies held them down last night as the Grizz were 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Jacob Rahani is starting out for Kansas City. He's one of 6 defensemen, and he'll be paired up with Marc-Olivier Duquette wearing number 24. We'll see if the Grizzlies starting lineup can get the job done once again, as the forward line of Dylan Fitz, Tyler Penner, and Aaron Aragon will get the start. And for Tyler Penner, he's been a Grizzlies Iron Man, as last night was his 101st win as Utah Grizzly in the regular season. Obviously, there are some playoff successes along the way as well. Penner is one of 3 Grizzlies players to have appeared in all 50 games this season, this being game number 51. Brandon Cutler, Mick Messner, and Tyler Penner are all in the Grizzlies lineup tonight. Watch out for Brandon Cutler in particular, as he's been outstanding in Saturdays for the Grizzlies as of late. Cutler leads Utah with 22 goals this season. He also leads the team in shots on goal with 187, and he's also third in the league in shots. So watch out for Brandon Cutler tonight. He is my pick for the Optum first goal of the game. Everybody make your pick for the Optum first goal of the game as to who's going to score first for Utah tonight. We'll come back and have face-off over at Cable Dahmer Arena. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Stop in for our Founders Celebration Sale and save up to $150 on select sets of Ford tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 19...
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice, more amazing food, more value, from huge breakfasts to delicious lunches and hearty dinners. Black Bear Diner has more for you. So get more when you want it, the way you want it, and get it today.
Good old-fashioned family food
Black Bear Diner. Black Bear Diner.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Kansas City Mavericks for the fifth time this season. Utah is 2-2 against Kansas City. All four of the previous meetings were held at Cable Dama Arena. In fact, the Mavericks just visit Mavericks Center one time during the regular season. That's a 3-game set in the month of April towards the end of the regular season. Starting in net for Utah is Dante Januzzi. It'll be his 25th appearance this season. That leads all Grizzlies goaltenders. He also leads Grizzlies goaltenders with 11 wins this season. He'll be lined up with Dylan Fitz, Aaron Aragon, and Tyler Penner to start, as well as the top defensive line of Josh Wesley and Kyle Mayhew. In net for Kansas City is Jack LaFontaine. It's the first time he's played against the Grizzlies. He's got a record of 9-2-0-1. The referee tonight, Grizzlies fan favorite, Marc-Olivier Phaneuf is in there. He's the referee tonight. He was the ref last week against the Wheeling Nailers. Russ Call and Zach Carson are the linesmen. Grizzlies in a white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim. Kansas City's wearing a jersey, black on the arms, black on the shoulder with a Seattle Kraken patch on the shoulder. That's their NHL affiliate. White numbers and white lettering in the back. Tyler Penner will take the draw against Jacob Hayhurst. The draw is won by Kansas City, and we're underway. Mavericks skate from left to right as we see it from Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. As Aragon will pitch it out to neutralize. Kansas City gets it back as they one-hand it towards the left point. They'll dump it off the backboard of the Grizzlies zone as the puck twirls towards the near side. Now it goes back to the corner. They try to find a cutting Schoenbart out in front. Now slot shot saved by Januzzi. Rebound shot and a score as the Mavericks scored 24 seconds in. As looks like it's Justin Nockbar celebrating, and Nockbar puts it away as he gets his 9th of the season. And just like that, the Mavericks on their first shift of the game have taken a 1-0 lead. Mavericks got it up top. The shot was blocked away by Januzzi, and hacking away was Nockbar and Hayhurst, and it looks like Nockbar is the one that's going to get the goal. So the first shot of the night, it goes to Kansas City as Marc-Olivier Duquette took the shot from the high slot and was blocked away. So it's 1-0 Mavericks, 24 seconds in, as Nockbar, who's really been a pest for the Grizzlies, he's one of those blue-collar guys. Utah wins the draw. As we're back to live action, 30 seconds in, Nockbar's got 8 fighting majors. Grizzlies and neutralized will loft it into the far corner and chase after it. As Adam Berg's out there, puck towards the near side. As Mavericks will saucer it off the near boards, goes towards Januzzi, raises his arm, and so does the linesman. As Kansas City's called for icing, 45 seconds in. Everybody make your pick for the Optum first goal of the game. Who's scoring first for Utah tonight? I don't know. I'm going to go with Brandon Cutler. He's had a lot of success against Kansas City in the past, and he's also had a lot of success on Saturdays. That's my pick. Cutler leads the Grizzlies with 22 goals this season. Brett Stapley will take the draw. He's got Adam Berg to his left, and I believe Brandon Cutler is on the right side off the screen. Hayhurst will take the drop for Kansas City. Hayhurst has 9 points, 5 goals, and 4 assists against Utah this season. On the Nockbar goal, Hayhurst and Brahani got the assists. Last night we saw a face-off violation, and this time the linesman kind of pump-faked the draw as Hayhurst talking things over with Stapley. Stapley celebrated his 25th birthday yesterday. He had 1 assist in the Grizzlies' victory. As the draw won by Utah, right wing lefty shot goes wide. I think that was taken by Cutler as the puck lifts towards the left point. It was Cutler that took that shot as Kansas City will clear it out to center. Now they'll move it ahead. Hayhurst throws it to the right side. Mavericks get side check. Shot saved by Januzzi. Mavericks get it back as they get it up top. As McLaughlin throws it to the left side. Now back across towards the right. It ricochets off the boards. Patrick Curry gets pushed by Wickers. Curry strong with the puck. Now he gets on 2 knees. He gets pushed along the boards by Wickers. Puck goes back to the far side. Kansas City keeps it in. McLaughlin, right side, lefty shot. Bounces wide as looked like a stick got in the way. Mavericks tried to hike it up top, but the puck exits play, and we get a whistle as we're just getting started. 18:38 left in the first, and Kansas City already has a 1-0 lead as Justin Nockbar got his 9th of the year. Kansas City will switch things up. Patrick Curry comes off the ice. Curry is second in the league with 58 points. Hayhurst will take the draw against Gallant as the Mavericks will throw it in. Januzzi behind his net will cut it off, wearing number 73. He'll toss it to the near side as the puck will bounce out to center ice as Kansas City will move it ahead. Mavericks at center ice. Nate Konepke will push it to his right. Koski over to Hayhurst, who enters the zone. He'll skate towards the near corner. He gets pushed by Galan, who had 1 goal and 1 assist last night. Now Semic joins the play. He delivers a push in the near side. The puck goes back towards the far corner. Teixeira with a push as Kansas City goes down. Grizzlies try to clear the zone as Utah will lift it out to center. Bouncing puck. Utah gets bounced to the Kansas City line. Grizzlies enter. Nathan Burke in the right point will chip it to the corner. Utah chases after it. Alex Bocage, number 26, gets it up top. Wesley, right wing shot is blocked as Kansas City towards the near corner, but it's Messner that gets hit by Nate Konepke, who spent some time with Toronto in the AHL earlier, as he was just sent to Kansas City yesterday. Mavericks cross center, and they'll loft it into the right corner as it skips off the ice on 2 hops. Grizzlies move it ahead as it goes to neutral ice. Utah crosses center. Messner will bounce it off the skate. Max Neal gets the puck at neutral ice. He'll dump it in. 2.5 minutes in, Kansas City leads 1-0 as he scored 24 seconds in with Justin Nockbar. So Mavericks re-enter the zone from the left side. They skate towards the circle. Lefty shot. And it goes wide. Dante might have gotten a piece of it. Mayhew in the near corner will drag it out to the line. Now Mayhew crosses center ice. He'll chip it to his right. Puck bounced off a stick. Grizzlies enter from the right point as they're trying to get to Messner, who couldn't handle it. Mayhew behind the net. Chips it towards Neal. Back towards Mayhew. Trying to get it back to Neal, but it hits the side of the net. Neal gets the puck and gets it towards Mayhew. Will tap it off the far boards. Grizzlies will skate towards the corner. Getting pushed was, I think that's Stucker. Now it's up top for Wickers. Wickers left point. Lefty shot. Glove saved by LaFontaine. He holds on. That's Utah's first shot of the night. 16:47 left in the first. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone drop. You know the old song, Saturday night's all right for fighting? Well, for the Grizzlies lately, Saturday night's all right for winning. Utah is 10-7 on Saturdays this year. They have won 6 in a row on Saturdays, and 3 of those 6 wins have come in overtime. So Utah's played pretty well on Saturdays this season. In particular, they've been outstanding since the calendar turned to 2024. Grizzlies win the draw in the offensive zone as Aragon fires towards the net. It goes wide on a very sharp angle. Wickers back towards Aragon, who tries to push it in front of the net, and too many Mavericks sticks in the way as it goes towards the far corner. Mavericks will lift it out to center ice. The puck hippity hops down towards the right side, and dumping it in was Bradley Schoenbart, who's back after missing some games on injury reserve. He didn't play last night. As the puck bounces in the left side, they throw it across off the near boards of the Mavericks. They center it to Schoenbart. Shot saved by Januzzi. Rebound towards the near side. Grizzlies get it. Utah will carry it out to center ice. Stucker pushes ahead to Aragon, who tried to dump it in, but bounced off the Maverick. And I think that's Ryan Devine, who leads their club in penalty minutes. McLaughlin moves it to the far side for Devine. So push it ahead towards Koski. Cole Koski's been a key contributor, 17 goals this season. He'll dump it in as Semic gets it towards Teixeira. Tex, wearing number 74, gets to Semic, who's got good speed. He crosses center ice. The ASU product dumps it in. LaFontaine plays it behind his net. Throws it to the far side. Stapley gathers it in the right side. He'll move it ahead to Cutler in the far corner. Cutler skates towards the net from the goal line. He loses the puck. Now Adam Berg gets on 2 knees. He couldn't handle it. Kansas City tried to clear it out. It bounced off of Berg. Now the Mavericks will skip it out to center ice. They're in control. 3-on-3. They enter the zone. Mavericks kick it across. Right side. Righty shot. Saved by Januzzi. And the net comes dislodged as play is stopped with 15:23 left in the first. As Mavericks had a 3-on-3 there and looked like a cutter from the left side just dislodged the net. The Grizzlies doing a good job protecting the crease. We're just getting underway, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice. Enjoy a little bit of Saturday with us. It looked like Keone Teixeira and Nolan Walker collided out in front of the net. Watch out for Walker. He's got 24 goals this season. He also has a shooting percentage of 32.3%, which is outstanding considering how late in the season we are. Grizzlies win the draw. Teixeira over towards Berg in the near side. He gets double-teamed and pushed by Konepke, and the puck goes back towards Berg after it went to the point as Berg will move it ahead. Grizzlies cross center ice near side. Berg moves it to his right, but the pass is taken away by Kansas City. Utah battles in the high slot, trying to locate it. Now they get to Stapley, drops it off as Cutler dances around in the left point. Cutler will skate towards the left circle. Lefty shot, and he gets back-checked and spun around. Cutler back to his feet. He gets up top to Mayhew near the blue line. He'll shuffle towards his right. Mayhew now in the high slot. Fakes to the point. Mayhew gets across to Cutler just outside the left circle. Lefty shot is blocked. Kansas City gathers the rebound off the body as Patrick Curry will cross center ice. 2-on-3. He'll push it to his right. The puck hippity hops into the Grizzlies zone near side. Cutler throws it to Januzzi, who will toss it to the far side. Now back to Mayhew. Mayhew at the near goal line will push it to his right as Wesley with a long-range pass that doesn't connect to the left side. The puck skips towards LaFontaine, as he'll keep the play alive. As now it's to the near side for David Cotton, the big 6'3" forward, as the Mavericks get it to the Utah line. Now they'll back it out into Mavericks territory. Now they recross center ice and dump it in. Wickers chasing after it as Wickers collides with a Kansas City player. Mavericks get it up top. Duquette will toss it off the end boards. Actually took a shot, and it looks like it hits off the protective netting and goes out of play as we get a whistle with 14:02 left in the first. Mavericks are up to 4 shots. Grizzlies have just taken 1 here so far in the first 6 minutes. Middle game of a 3-game set. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon is going to be a 3 o'clock start. Hayhurst will take the draw. Cole Gallant for Utah. Gallant's been outstanding as he's got 9 goals and 24 assists this season. The 33 points are tied with Nathan Burke for the club lead among rookies. Rookie forwards, that is. Mayhew leads the way with 34. As the Grizzlies dumping in from neutral ice after winning the faceoff as the puck skips towards Cotton, who backhands it towards the point. Grizzlies keep it in. Utah fires off the backboards. Now left side, righty shot goes wide. That was taken by Gallant, who picked up his 9th goal of the season last night. Burke and Gallant. Gallant gets the puck. He's in the far corner. He gets pushed by Duquette. Puck goes back up top. Grizzlies keep the line to get to Gallant, who skates back towards the point. Now tattoo it off the boards. Grizzlies far goal line as Bocage dances around. Now he reverses. Now he pivots back towards the corner. Bocage skates towards the near side. Backhand shot saved by LaFontaine as the referee, Marc-Olivier Duquette, looks like he's Marc-Olivier Phaneuf looks like he's going to let them play tonight. Grizzlies re-enter down the middle. Bocage, righty shot, is blocked away as the puck skips towards the end boards. Kansas City gets to the near side. Now they move it ahead as Kolkoski will throw it back towards his left. Mavericks chip a left wing pass into the zone as Kansas City skates towards the left circle. Lefty shot kick saved by Januzzi. Rebound goes back to Kansas City as they get double teamed by Semick and Berg. Now towards the left side, centering pass, shot and a score. And it looks like it's Jeremy McKenna getting the goal as Kansas City threw a great pass out in front. McKenna was able to poke it in, and it's now a 2-0 game. So McKenna gets his 13th of the year as Kansas City had to the left side, and they just backhanded it out in front towards McKenna. Wickers couldn't get a piece of it. McKenna, once he got the pass, it was an easy one for him the rest of the way. As Kansas City just kind of got the puck in, Borchard's going to get an assist as he was the one that centered it out in front to McKenna, who put it away. So it's 2 goals on 6 shots for Kansas City here in the first 7 minutes and 11 seconds of regulation. It's 2-0 Mavericks. Kansas City is 25-3-1 when scoring first. Tonight they've got the first 2. His action towards the Grizzlies zone as it skips towards the right side. McKenna tries to center it out in front to Borchard and return the favor. Pass goes wide. Borchard gets it off the far boards. Now Kansas City in the right point. Jake McLaughlin dances around. Now feather it around the wall as Semick behind Utah's net will backhand it towards Fitz. Fitz about the area where he scored his 3rd goal last night as the puck skips up top. Right point, McLaughlin throws to the right circle. Grizzlies poking out to center. Utah in a foot race. Tekshera skates over there. He closes the gap, gets it before Kyle Jackson. He centers it out in front. Fitz couldn't handle it. Puck skips towards neutral ice. Grizzlies keep it in as they'll throw it across off the near boards. Burke skates towards the left circle. Shot goes wide. He was looking for Fitz to redirect it. As the puck ricochets all the way back towards their blue line, they get it across to Mayhew near side. Mayhew enters the zone, skates towards the corner. Now he feeds it up top. Left side, Cutler lefty shot is blocked away as it hit off a Maverick wrist. Cutler gets it back along the near boards. He skates towards the corner. Cutler will backhand it out towards the left point for Mayhew. Mayhew 8 goals this season, fires towards the net, and it's blocked again by that same wrist, and that's Bradley Schumbart, who's just back from injured reserve. Mayhew skates towards the near corner. He gets spun around by Schumbart. Schumbart loses his balance. Grizzlies keep it in high slot, but it bounced off of Mayhew and out to center ice. Grizzlies throw it to Cutler. It's picked off by Schumbart. Schumbart playing hard. He skates towards the near goal line. Now on to Januzzi. Shot saved by Januzzi as he dove towards his right. We get a whistle. I think Utah is going to get a penalty for trying to impede Schumbart's progress towards the net. 11-17 left in the first. Kansas City leads 2-0 as looks like the first penalty of the game is going to be called, and I think it's on Utah. We'll come back in 1 minute. It's the Mavericks 2 and the Grizzlies 0. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
Mavericks' new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountainland Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountainland Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice. More amazing food. More value. So get more. And get it today. Black Bear Diner.
We mentioned there was a penalty going into the break. The penalty was on Schumbart. Goaltender interference, 8:43 into the first. So the Grizzlies were on the power play. They trailed 2-0 as Kansas City got goals from Justin Nockbar and Jeremy McKenna. As the Mavericks get it, and they'll skate up ice. One-on-one, they cross center ice. Now they'll veer back towards the bench area on the far side, and they'll chip it in. Januzzi plays behind his net. Kansas City has 2 goals on 8 shots. Grizzlies are scoreless. They've taken 3 shots on goal. Utah will fake it to the right. Skating down the middle, we believe is Cutler. Let's make that Mayhew. Mayhew gains the line, skates down the middle. He gets poked away. Now Cutler lefty shot, saved by LaFontaine. As the Mavericks throw it to the far side, couldn't clear it out. Now they'll backhand it out of the zone as it goes between Mayhew and Stapley. Make that Mayhew and Fitz. Januzzi behind his net. We'll get it to Mayhew as there's 1:15 counting left in the power play. Mayhew down the middle, drops it off for Cutler. Cutler chips to his right as Grizzlies enter the zone. But the puck is squirted away. Kansas City skates down Broadway. Borchard gets a good shoulder check from Fitz, and Borchard loses the puck. As the Grizzlies reset halfway through the power plays, they'll drop it off. Utah gets it towards, I believe, Stapley, who crosses center ice. As Grizzlies enter, they get challenged at the right point. Messner gets held up. Burt takes the puck. He tried to chip it towards Stapley. It's taken away by Kansas City, who clears it out. Halfway through the first period, Mavericks lead 2-0. As Grizzlies here in the middle of their first power play, Robbie Stucker gets a new try. He's got 3 assists in 6 games for Utah. Will drop it off. Now it goes to the left side for Burke, who enters the zone. Burke will drop it off for Wesley, who pushes to his right. Now back to Wesley, left side. He danced around. Now throw it back towards the far circle. Shot is blocked away by Kansas City, and they'll clear it out. Good job by Kansas City, taking the time and space away from the shooter from the far circle. Grizzlies move it ahead. They re-enter from the near side as an unidentified player skates around the net. Messner loses it. Nate Konepke will clear it out. That's 4 or 5 clears by Kansas City here on the penalty kill. 3 seconds left in the power play. Utah behind Januzzi's net, and coming out of the box is Bradley Schumbart, wearing number 10. Schumbart picked up penalty minutes 11 and 12 on the season. Grizzlies left wing pass to Neal. He enters the zone. He gets blasted, and he gets spun around in the air, kind of like he was John Elway in Super Bowl 32. Far side, Grizzlies siren pass shot, saved by LaFontaine. Utah gets it back. Right side across towards Gallant. One-timer, and that one goes wide as he tried to go glove side on LaFontaine. Utah back to the near side, 11 minutes in. Dancing around the net is Neal. He'll push it to the right side. Now across the Teixeira, who moves it back up top. Gallant skates towards the right circle, dances around. Now he pivots, takes a righty shot, and it's blocked away. And looks like the puck deflects. It looks like it was gloved by LaFontaine. He holds on with 8:40 left in the first. It's the Mavericks 2 and the Grizzlies nothing, as Gallant was all alone on the far side. His shot was saved by LaFontaine as he made a routine save. 8:40 left in the first. Mavericks lead 2-0. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Smith's always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Smith's app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
It's 2-0 Kansas City. Tyler Penner will take the draw against Nolan Walker, 8:40s left in the first, draws in the Kansas City zone far circle. Penner wins the draw. Grizzlies right side lefty shot is blocked away. Oh, a ton of blocked shots by Kansas City here early on. Teixeira moves to the right side for Semick. He'll fire towards the net, and that one's blocked away. Kansas City back at the point will push it to their right. Now the Mavericks get it out to center ice, but before they lose it, Aragon moves it ahead, but it goes back to Kansas City as McLaughlin will toss it to center ice. Grizzlies, Teixeira will throw it towards the far boards. Left point, Kansas City shot, and that's blocked by Teixeira. Grizzlies moving out to the right side. Big collision out near the Grizzlies bench. Utah crosses center, and they'll skip it in as they make a full line change with about 8 minutes left in the first period. As we get a whistle, as Kansas City was playing it in their zone. 8:04 left in the first. Jake McLaughlin out there. He's had a solid campaign for Kansas City. He's a plus 26 this year for the first place Mavericks. It looks like the draw is going to be in the Kansas City zone. Adam Berg out there for Utah. He missed last Monday's game. Or he missed one of the games in the Wheeling series. He's out there with Stapley and Cutler. Stapley stares down Jacob Hayhurst. Has been a Grizzlies killer. He's got 1 assist tonight. He had 2 goals and 1 assist. All of them coming in the third period last night. Hayhurst's got a ton of speed. He's got a lot of skill. He's a former Worcester Railer in this league. Draw one by Kansas City, another former Railer. Cole Koski will dump it in off the far boards. Kansas City deep in the Grizzlies zone as Hayhurst gets hit. Grizzlies over in the far corner, trying to push it ahead, but they get held up along the boards. As Grizzlies move it ahead now across, the Grizz cross center ice. They'll push it to the left side. Grizzlies enter the zone. Cutler gets hit and taken off the puck by Marc-Olivier Duquette. Now Stapley gets up top to Berg. High slot, lefty shot. And glove saved by LaFontaine. He holds on. Looked like the shot was going to go wide anyway, but LaFontaine gloved it. He's a big guy at 6'3" and 209 pounds. Stapley with a pretty good pass towards his right for Berg for the shot. Stapley had 1 assist on his birthday yesterday. Brett Stapley has 7 goals in his last 9 games. He's certainly been outstanding in the month of February as he is a +7 for the month. Nathan Burke will take the draw. He's got Bocage to his left and Gallant to his right. Draw one by Utah. Bocage will move it across, but Kansas City picks it off. Mavericks will push it to the right side. It bounced off the skate of Tucker Robertson, who had a goal last night. As Grizzlies will move it out to center as Utah chasing after it. Kansas City, no icing on the play. Mavericks have it deep in their own zone as they'll push it across towards Robertson, who moves it ahead. Kansas City crosses center ice. Kyle Jackson skates into the zone. He'll toss it off the end boards and chase after it. He gets there about the same time as Semick. As 2-on-2 battle, Januzzi looks over his right shoulder as the puck now goes up top. Grizzlies try to challenge and push him out. Bocage and Burke in the area. As the puck skips towards Mayhew, pushes ahead. Grizzlies 2-on-2 under the zone as Gallant skates down the middle. Righty shot is kicked away by LaFontaine. This is just skip towards the Kansas City netminder. Bocage left side. Righty shot goes wide as it ricochets off the backboards. Bocage gets it back far side. He'll take a righty shot. And that one goes wide. That was almost the same spot. And it gets redirected out of play. 6:38 left in the first as Bocage took the shot from about the same spot that he scored this past Monday towards the end of that game against Wheeling. You know, you're going to get about 4 or 5 shots per game from Alex Bocage as he's really been a key contributor to Utah's offense. In fact, in 8 games coming into play tonight, he's got 38 shots on goal. Bocage has 2 goals and 4 assists for Utah this season. He spent the majority of the last 2.5 seasons in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. Max Neal still looking for his first pro goal. It's his 7th pro game. He's got 1 assist for Utah. He'll take the draw and win it. Far side, Grizzlies fire towards the net on a righty shot. It goes wide as they went glove side on LaFontaine. As over in the near corner, Utah gets pushed. Neal in the area getting physical, but it's Kansas City coming out of the pile with the puck as the Mavericks get out to center ice. They'll cross center, which looks more orange than red. Does the line. Januzzi behind his net will force it towards the far side. As Kansas City keeps it on the right side, they'll dump it in deep. Big-time hit delivered by Robbie Stucker. As puck trickles towards the far side, Neal will one-hand it out to center ice. As bouncing puck, Grizzlies enter the zone. They'll drop it off. Cutler veers off to the right side as he gets blasted and taken off the puck. Kansas City, 2-on-2, they enter the zone. Now it's 2-on-3. Kansas City towards the left side. Lefty shot. Glove saved by Januzzi. He holds on with 5:52 left in the first. It's the Mavericks 2 and the Grizzlies nothing. Utah up to 8 shots. Kansas City, I believe, has taken 9. We'll come back in 1 minute as Kansas City leads by 2. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Mavericks' new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice. More amazing food. More value. So get more. And get it today. Black Bear Diner.
It's Mavericks 2 and the Grizzlies nothing. Looks like both teams have 8 shots. Dante Januzzi so far has stopped 6 of 8. Jack LaFontaine stopped all 8 that he has seen. Drawn the Grizzlies zones won by Utah's Aaron Aragon. Will diagonal it out to the right side for Fitz, who dumps it in, rolls towards LaFontaine, who gets it, and he'll push it to the far corner. Marc-Olivier Duquette will move it up ice. It goes to neutral ice. Now they kick it across. Pass connects as Kansas City skates towards the near corner, and that's number 28, Cade Borcher, who's been one of the best rookies in the league. He loses it on the far side, gathering it still and Fitz. He'll cross center ice, and he'll loft it in as the puck skips towards the near corner. Chasing after its Penner, as Duquette will push it towards the near side, and the puck trickles out to center ice as it goes towards Mayhew, trying to get to Fitz. It's taken away by Curry. Curry, a candidate for the league's MVP award, will move it to the left side. Now round back towards Curry. It's picked off by Stucker. He gets pushed in the near corner as he gets held up along the boards. Grizzlies will skate down the middle as they'll exit the zone. As Utah crosses center ice, Mayhew will tattoo it off the far boards and chase after it, but it goes to Kansas City, who seems to be winning the 50-50 pucks here early on. They'll get it towards Borcher to cross the center ice, and they'll saucer it in. Januzzi plays behind his net. He'll get it to the captain, Josh Wesley, who's got 13 goals and 13 assists this year. He'll push it towards the near side. Grizzlies get his. They're exiting the zone. Now Kansas City gets it down the middle. Kyle Jackson loses. It goes off the end boards. Jackson retrieves the loose puck. He'll skate towards the far side. Now back end it up top. And they get it towards the corner for Jeremy McKenna. He'll skate towards the net. He'll take a shot. It's blocked away as Januzzi poked it away with one hand. Konepke throws it towards the middle. Jackson couldn't handle the hot pass. Grizzlies will carry it out to center ice themselves. Utah pushes a diagonal pass to the left. It bounced off of Berg's stick as he'll skate towards the near corner as he collides with Konepke, who goes on 2 knees. As the puck goes to Cutler, who skates after it, he loses it. McKenna will move it to his left as the Mavericks get a right wing pass that connects. Kansas City, right side, righty shot. Saved by Januzzi. Rebound towards the left point. Kansas City will toss it off the near corner as it gets to Tucker Robertson. He stops in the right point, pivots, fires towards the net. Saved by Januzzi. It might have been blocked in front of him, though. Kansas City far goal line gets it as Mavericks are in the attack zone. They get around Robbie Stucker far goal line. So they'll chip it around the net and lose it. Now Stucker gets it back. So they'll push it towards the far side. Grizzlies will get towards center ice. They cross the red line and dump it in. They dump it in on the LaFontaine. Grizz make a line change. Kansas City keeps it alive. Center ice. Koski gets around Burke. Right wing, righty shot. Saved by Januzzi. McKenna tried to feather it out in front towards Koski, and it's taken away by Utah. Now Koski battles with Burke as Kansas City will chip it towards the left point. They keep it in. Now across towards McLaughlin. He'll take a lefty shot that's blocked away. Goes back to McLaughlin at the line. He keeps it in. McLaughlin throws it around the wall. Koski couldn't reach it as David Cotton delivers a hit. Grizzlies clearing out the center. Mavericks back in their own zone as McLaughlin will outlet it to center ice for Koski, who bobbles it. Grizzlies have a tap off their stick. And Utah one-hands it in deep to the Kansas City zone where it's taken back by McLaughlin. He will throw it to the corner that he vacated for Koski. As he pushed it from one corner to the other, Kansas City will carry it out of the zone. Now they'll move it to the left side. Kansas City will loft it in as Mayhew couldn't reach it. Hayhurst chases after it in the corner. He blows the tire. He gets back to his feet, but Utah gets the puck. They try to backhand it out. It bounced off of Cotton. Now near goal line, Kansas City around the net, wraparound shot saved by Januzzi. Grizzlies get it far side. They'll get it across. Utah crosses center ice. They get back checked as Utah enters the zone. Gallant drops it off as Max Neal over in the far corner as he gets pushed by Hayhurst and he gets dragged towards the ice. Right side, Grizzlies will fire it across near side, near the corner as Wesley tried to get to Neal, and we get a whistle. Let's see. There's a penalty on the play as Neal had a collision with a Maverick. 2:08 is left in the first. Kansas City leads 2-0. Marc-Olivier Duquette talking with the linesman. It looks like Duquette's going to get a penalty. Roughing's going to be the call. Looks like Marc-Olivier Duquette's going to go to the box. And so for the Grizzlies, they're going to be on the power play for the second time here in the first period. Utah did not register a shot on goal in their first power play of the night. It's the Mavericks 2 and the Grizzlies nothing. We'll see if Utah can get a little bit of momentum heading into the first intermission locker room. It's Marc-Olivier Duquette, who's got 46 penalty minutes coming into play tonight, picks up penalty minutes 47 and 48 on the year. Drawn the near circles, won by Kansas City. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from Flow Sports. Kansas City from left to right. Action over on the left side of the ice as we see it. As the puck goes towards the far corner, and Kansas City will skip it out to center ice. Mayhew gets it in his own zone, far side. He skates around the net as he gets back checked and loses it. Januzzi one-hands it towards the far corner, though, as Grizzlies will move it out to center ice. Grizz enter the zone, right side. Utah will filter it up top towards Stapley. Stapley almost collided with the Grizzly, but keeps the puck. As he's trying to get towards Cutler, it's tapped away. Kansas City will clear it out. Mayhew will gallop after and get the loose puck deep in the Grizzly zone. He gets it off the end boards and skates around Januzzi's net. Mayhew down the middle, the University of Denver product. First full season as a pro, drop it off. Grizzlies cross center ice. They push it to the left for Burke. Burke taps to the right side. The Grizzlies will direct it to Wesley in the left side. Wesley will move it back towards the far side, just outside the circle. Now up top to Stapley, over to Wesley. One-timer and a score! Grizzlies get on the board as Wesley fired towards the net. Burke one-handed it, trying to redirect it. As Utah gets back in the game, it's now 2-1. Wesley with a shot, looked like it bounced off of Burke and into the back of the net. So if it's Nathan Burke, it's his 17th of the year. And if it's Josh Wesley, it's his 14th. As LaFontaine was just screened by Burke and looked like LaFontaine didn't get good vision of it and still couldn't really tell if it was Burke or if it was Wesley. We'll find out in the ECHL app who gets credited with Utah's power play goal. So Utah went 2 for 4 on the power play last night, and they're 1 for 2 here this evening. It's 2-1 Kansas City, but the Grizzlies have some momentum. 1 minute left in the first. Kansas City crosses center ice and dumps it in after winning the faceoff. As Utah on the near side, it's pushed along the boards. Kansas City has lost 2 in a row, and looks like they put together a pretty good first period effort. They're back at their blue line. Now they'll move it across center ice, and they'll tap it in. As Januzzi lets it go towards Stucker, who plays it. He'll throw it to the far corner. Penner delivers a hit. Kansas City strong with the puck. As they get it towards the far side, Kansas City gets pushed in the back, so they'll chip it off the end board. Stucker will get the loose puck. He'll skate around Utah's net towards the near side. As they'll tap it off the boards, puck flips into center ice as it goes back towards Kansas City's Nate Konepke. As the Mavericks will push it towards the right side, it glanced off a stick and it goes deep in the Grizzly zone near side as Wickers gets it towards Stucker. 15 seconds left in the period. As Stucker will advance it to center ice, Grizzlies' Adam Berg steps over the line. Kansas City pokes it back to center. Mavericks re-enter the zone 2-on-2, but they lose it. 2 seconds left. Grizzlies will watch the time run out, and that'll do it for 20 minutes over at Cable Dahmer Arena. Kansas City scored 2 goals in the first 7.5 minutes of regulation, but Josh Wesley got a power play goal. We believe it's either Wesley or Nathan Burke, depending on who got it who redirected it. It looks like right now they've given it to Wesley at 18:54 into the first period. We'll check on that a little bit later on. But the Grizzlies' special teams have certainly been big here in this series. 2 power play goals and a perfect penalty kill night last night in a 7-4 victory. Tonight, it was a power play that gets Utah back in the game. After 1 period, it's the Mavericks 2 and the Grizzlies 1. We'll come back and recap the first 20 minutes of play. We'll also go over some scores from around the league, as well as a check of the Mountain Division standings. What does this game mean for the Grizzlies and the Mavericks here in terms of the Mountain Division playoff race? After 1 period, it's Kansas City 2 and Utah 1.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Stop in for our Founders Celebration Sale and save up to $150 on select sets of Ford tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice, more amazing food, more value, from huge breakfasts to delicious lunches and hearty dinners. Black Bear Diner has more for you. So get more when you want it, the way you want it, and get it today.
Good old-fashioned family food, Black Bear Diner. Black Bear Diner.
First intermission over at Cable Dama Arena, and Kansas City leads Utah 2-1. I'm Tyson Whiting, hanging out at the Grizz Cave just outside the Grizzlies team store here at Mavericks Center. The Grizzlies are one time zone to the east as they take on the Mavericks in the second of a three-game set. Right now, they've listed the power play goal as being Josh Wesley's. It was a one-timer from the left circle, but it wasn't necessarily clean. It wasn't like a one-timer that just sailed into the back of the net. It bounced off of something. Nathan Burke was out in front, and you could almost tell in that first replay thinking that it would redirect it off of Burke. But they've given the goal to Josh Wesley, which is his 14th of the year, and it's his sixth power play goal, which means that he now leads the club in power play goals. He has a power play goal in back-to-back games. He came into play tied with Brandon Cutler, as both guys had 5 power play goals on the season. Well, it was a fast start for Kansas City as Justin Nachbar scored in the first shift of the game, 24 seconds in, with Jacob Hayhurst and Jacob Brahani getting the assist. For Brahani, it's his second game with the Mavericks this season, as he played with Queen's University over in U Sports. Brahani, a native of Hastings, Ontario, as he is 24 years old, playing his second game with Kansas City, and picks up his first point in a Mavericks uniform. That was 24 seconds in, Kansas City taking a 1-0 lead. The Mavericks extended the lead to 2-0, 7-11 in, as Jeremy McKenna scored his 13th of the year. Tucker Robertson and Kyle Jackson picked up the assists. There were 2 penalties in the first period. Both of them were on Kansas City. Bradley Schoenbart got a goaltender interference penalty, 8:43 in. The Grizzlies did not get a shot on that power play. Marc-Olivier Duquette got a roughing minor, 17:52 in, and that's where Wesley capitalized. A minute 2 into the power play for Utah's lone goal so far. On the Wesley goal, Robbie Stucker and Nathan Burke get the assist. And so for Stucker, it's his 4th assist in a Grizzlies uniform. I do know that Dakota Raby was a fan favorite among a lot of Grizzlies fans' eyes, and it was tough to see him go, but the Grizzlies certainly needed some help on the blue line, and Robbie Stucker has been a quality defenseman for the Grizzlies. Wearing number 40, he's made good decisions with the puck, and looks like he's going to be a keeper, and he's going to become a fan favorite in his own right. And for Nathan Burke, he just continues to produce night in and night out. He now has an assist in back-to-back games. He has 19 assists this year, which gives him 35 points, which means that he now has the lead among points among Grizzlies rookies, as he came into play with 34 points, tied with Kyle Mayhew for the club lead in points among defensemen. Cole Gallant's got 33 points this season, and so Utah's really gonna get. They're really getting a lot of benefit from their defensemen and their rookies here this season. Mick Messner's got 30 points, and he's been one of the best rookies in the league as well. So it's 2-1, but the Grizzlies do get a little bit of momentum heading into the locker room. Kansas City came out strong. Remember, they had a pretty strong third period after Utah took a 5-1 lead, and really it's that work ethic, and that sort of, you got to play for a full 60 minutes to beat that team, and that's a big reason as to why Kansas City is in first place in the Mountain Division, why they've had the year that they've had. they're not going to give up. And even if they had a tough night Friday, they continued to battle till the end. Kansas City is one of those high-powered offenses to where if you're not on point defensively, they can certainly make you look bad, as they did in their 2 victories against Utah. Remember, they scored 9 goals and 8 goals in their 2 wins against Utah this season. So for the Grizz, it's important to have a pretty good second-period effort to try to find a way to stay in this game. And Utah's been a pretty good third-period club as of late. So it'll be interesting to see what the second period looks like. The Grizzlies got the 2 power plays here in the first period, and really that's been a big point for the Grizzlies over the last month and a half is their improved special teams. And, they had a perfect night on the penalty kill, and they've done a good job playing discipline and staying out of the penalty box as they didn't commit a single penalty in the first period. They got the 2 power plays, didn't do much on the first power play, but then scored on the second chance. Shots were pretty close to even in the first period. Kansas City had 11, Utah had 10. For the Grizzlies and their 10 shots, Cole Gallant led the way with 3 shots. Brandon Cutler had 2, and then 1 shot each for Wickers, Berg, Wesley, Bocage, and Keone Teixeira. For the Mavericks, they were pretty balanced in their attack. Bradley Schumbart had 2 shots, and then 9 other Mavericks had 1 shot in the first period. When we come back, we'll go over some scores from around the league, and we'll also go over the Mountain Division standings and why this game is so important for the Grizzlies in their pursuit of the playoffs. As it's game 51 of 72, and Utah has been outstanding since the Christmas break. If you joined us late, since Christmas, the Grizzlies in 25 games have a record of 16, 8, and 1. We'll come back and go over some scores from around the league as Kansas City leads Utah 2-1. This is the Rio Tinto Kennecott Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Mavericks' new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Smith's always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Smith's app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm. And our lights on. It's the power behind the team. And a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice. More amazing food. More value. So get more. And get it today.
Black Bear Diner.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. First intermission, Kansas City leads Utah 2-1. Games involving Mountain Division opponents. First intermission, Indy leads Wichita 2-1. Wichita has played pretty good hockey as of late, as they are 6-3-1 over their last 10 games, and they've won 4 in a row as Wichita passed Rapid City for 6th place in the Mountain Division. Speaking of Rapid City, they take on first place Greenville. Greenville leads the South Division by 2 points over Jacksonville, and after one period, Greenville has a 1-0 lead. Kind of interesting when you think about the connections of those two teams. Greenville and Rapid City are both owned by Swire Coca-Cola. They're owned by the same people. The former Rapid City broadcaster, Mark Benetti, is now the broadcaster of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. There's a lot of other connections to the teams as well. As Such picked up his 17th of the year, 425 in for Greenville, they lead Rapid City 1-0, and the Rush are desperate for victories as they have lost 7 in a row, and they are 2-8 over their last 10 games. Grizzlies will face Rapid City 6 times in the month of March. In fact, the Grizzlies' next homestand is a 3-game series against the Rapid City Rush. And don't forget, the next Grizzlies home game is going to be an AFCU Friday on March 8th. And that's going to be a 7-10 start to start a 3-game series. And then the Grizzlies will play March 9th and March 11th as well. Don't forget that March 11th is going to be a Smith's family night with 4 tickets for $40 and $10 for each additional ticket after that. Other action in the Mountain Division. Looks like Allen is off this week. Idaho and Tulsa get underway in about 15 minutes from now. Idaho defeated Tulsa 4-3 in overtime, and that was big because Tulsa got a standing point. Idaho is secure in second place, and with Kansas City losing, Idaho is now 4 points behind Kansas City for first place in the Mountain Division. Idaho is 8-0-1 over their last 9 games, and they've certainly been one of the best teams in the league. In fact, that one overtime loss was against the Grizzlies a couple weeks ago. In fact, I think it was just last week. Now it was actually 2 weeks ago when Idaho lost in overtime to the Grizzlies. Tulsa's in third place with 52 standings points, 19 points back of Idaho for second place. So it looks like, barring something crazy happening over the last 2 months, Kansas City and Idaho are going to be the top 2 teams in the division. Tulsa, third place with 52 standings points and a .520 winning percentage. They're just 3 standings points ahead of Utah, who's currently in fourth place in the Mountain Division with a point percentage of .490. Allen gets a bye week this week, so they don't play anybody. They're in fifth place with 47 standings points and a .470 winning percentage. Wichita is in sixth with 43 points. And Rapid City is bringing up the rear with their 7-game losing streak at 40 standings points. Other action in the league. Games are in progress. Halfway through the first period, Cincinnati leads Iowa 1-0. Late first period, Maine has a 2-1 lead over Toledo. After one period, no score at West Banco Arena as Kalamazoo and Wheeling are scoreless. No score in the first intermission with Allen and Orlando. Also, after one period, Florida leads Worcester 2-1. No score after one between Reading and Adirondack. Norfolk and Jeff Carr's crew have a 1-0 lead over the South Carolina Stingrays. Norfolk is going to be in town for Utah's next homestand as well, and that's going to be an interesting series. Newfoundland gets a 4-3 shootout victory over the Trois-Rivières Lions. As that game ended in a shootout, looks like the game winner was scored by Jackson Berezowski. Corey Thomas played for Trois-Rivières, the former Grizzly, and he registered nothing on the stat sheet. Bryson Martin, former Grizzlies defenseman, played with Trois-Rivières, and he was a -1 on 3 shots. So we'll see what happens in the second period. Kansas City's got a 2-1 lead. Grizzlies did get some momentum heading into the locker room, with Josh Wesley scoring on the power play, 18:56 into the first. We'll see what the second period has in store. This has been the Rio Tinto Kennecott Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
First intermission over in Kansas City. It's 2-1 Mavericks. Let's go over some NHL scores tonight. A few games have already gone final. Detroit beats St. Louis 6-1. New Jersey is a 4-3 winner over Montreal. Tampa Bay defeats the New York Islanders 4-2. New York Rangers get a 2-1 victory over Philadelphia. Games in progress. Second intermission. Washington and Florida are tied at 1. Also after one period, the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, have a 2-1 lead over Toronto. Vegas leads Ottawa 1-0. Late first period, no score between Boston and Vancouver. Later on today, at 6 o'clock, Dallas is at Carolina. At 8 o'clock, Calgary is at Edmonton. Also at 8 o'clock, Nashville is at San Jose, and Minnesota is at Seattle. Seattle is the NHL affiliate of the Kansas City Mavericks, the Grizzlies' opponent this weekend. And at 8:30, Anaheim is at the LA Kings. We'll come back and have second period action as Kansas City leads Utah 2-1. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Stop in for our Founders Celebration Sale and save up to $150 on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 19...
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountainland Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountainland Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual.
Mavericks' new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice. More amazing food. More value. So get more. And get it today.
Black Bear Diner.
Now we're about set for second period action over at Cable Dahmer Arena. For the Grizzlies, Josh Wesley scored his third goal against the Mavericks this year. Wesley is playing his third game against Kansas City this season. He was just reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles this past Monday, played in Monday's game, and he also played on Friday night in Kansas City, scoring 1 goal and 1 assist. And Josh Wesley's certainly been one of the best defensemen in the league. You know, he's third among league defensemen with 141 shots. And with the goal tonight, he furthers his lead among all league defensemen, as he now has 14 goals. He's got 6 power play goals, including 1 tonight, which leads all league defensemen. He's also got a point in 8 of his last 9 games and a goal in 6 of his last 9, with this being the 9th game. Both teams are out of the locker room or about set for second period action, as fourth-year head coach Tad O'Had looks on. Utah's led by third-year head coach Ryan Kanaswich, who picked up his 101st win as Grizzlies head coach last night. He is just 3 short of 4th place in Grizzlies history. Don Hay had 104 victories for the Grizzlies over a 3-year stretch. Tim Branham leads the way with 284 wins. Butch Goring is in second place with 178 wins, which came in a 4-year stretch. And Kevin Cawley had 157 wins in 5 seasons as Grizzlies head coach. Jacob Hayhurst will take the draw to start the second period. If it's the same 5 on the ice for Utah that started the first, it's going to be Aragon, Fitz, and Penner. Penner's taking the draw to start the second period. Up top is Mayhew and Josh Wesley. Utah in the white jerseys. Dante Januzzi leaps in front of his crease. He's one of the more active and agile goaltenders in the league. Hayhurst will take the draw for Kansas City. He had 1 assist in the first period. He's got 4 points so far in this series. Puck is dropped, and we're underway in the second period. Kansas City wins the draw. They're skating from right to left. Utah from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports. Knockbar pushes it in. Kansas City gets the loose puck behind Utah's net as they get spun around towards the near side. Dylan Fitz gathers it. He'll skate along the near wing, across center ice, and he'll throw it towards the left corner as Kansas City pokes it back to center as they gather it near the Grizzlies bench as they'll move it across off the near boards. As Kansas City will diagonal it off a Grizzly. It enters the Grizzly zone onto Januzzi. It throws to the far side. It chips off the boards. Kansas City gets it center ice. They'll move it across. Mavericks at center, and they'll loft it in. Januzzi lets it go towards the far wing boards. As Mayhew battles, he holds his ground. As Utah will shovel it out of the zone as the puck gets there and skips at neutral ice. Utah at neutral ice will move it to their right. Fitz enters the zone. He'll wrap it around the wall at the end of a shift. 50 seconds into the second period as he comes off the ice. Kansas City back at their goal line, start the attack. Mavericks move it towards the near side. It's picked off by Stapley. He'll get it towards the left side. Grizzlies lefty shot. And saved by LaFontaine. As Stapley threw it to the left side as Kansas City turned it over in their own zone. As the shot was taken from the left side, either by Berg. Let's see. I couldn't see who it was. It was Cutler that took the shot. Berg was in front of the net trying to screen LaFontaine, but the Kansas City goaltender was able to gather it cleanly, and he makes his first save of the second period, 1:05 into the second. LaFontaine played a little bit with Coachella Valley, native of Ontario, Canada, 26 years old, 6'3", 209 pounds. Tucker Robertson crouches down low, so does Cutler. Both guys wear number 29. Cutler wins the draw. As around the boards, Cutler collides with McLaughlin. As Kansas City's Tucker Robertson throws it towards the Kansas City net. Cutler around the net as he gets held up towards the near corner. Berg pushes. Now Cutler trying to get to Stapley. Kansas City gets a stick in the way. Puck still in the near corner as Robertson will throw it around the wall. As the Mavericks spread the ice, they diagonal it out towards the left side. Puck skips over a Kansas City stick and goes all the way down for an icing call with 18:29 left in the second. So draw comes all the way back towards Jack LaFontaine. Shots been pretty close to even in this game. The Mavericks did have a 35-27 edge in the shot count in last night's affair where Utah won 7-4, and Dylan Fitz became the first Grizzlies player to get a hat trick this season. In fact, I think he was the first Grizzly to get a hat trick since Brandon Cutler scored 4 goals against Rapid City on January 27th of 2023. Mavericks win the draw. They'll shovel it out to center ice. It's taken by Stucker across the center. As he gets back checked, he'll carry it into the zone. He stops in the left point, pivots, and throws it across to Stapley, who pushes around the net. Now far corner. Cutler backhands it up top for Stucker, who gets it towards Cutler off the wall. Cutler gets it taken away by Kansas City, but it goes back to Cutler as Kansas City overskated it. He'll get towards Stapley, left side, righty shot, saved by LaFontaine. Cutler gets it up top for Wickers, who pushes it back to Cutler in the far corner. Cutler tries to spin around Robertson, but Robertson took the puck away. He moves it ahead as the Mavericks cross center ice. Kansas City enters the zone. Right side, McKenna tries to feed it out in front as the pass goes wide towards the far corner. Skipping puck, Stapley gets it. He skates around Januzzi's net as Brett Stapley will cross center ice. Stapley celebrated a birthday yesterday as Stucker will throw it across. Now it's in the Mavericks zone, but Kansas City's in control, skating from right to left. Mavericks cross center ice. They enter the zone as chipping it in is Jared Brandt. Brandt's got good size, 6 feet, 196 pounds, a +10 this season. Mavericks get spun around on the far side. Grizzlies get it. Bocage crosses center ice and chases after it. He gets the puck just before it got to the far corner. He'll drop it off as the puck skips over Utah. Burke in the area. 2 Mavericks collide at the line, as I think it's going to be a penalty on Burke as he tripped up the Mavericks. Kansas City chases after it. As skating towards the bench is LaFontaine. 6-on-5, Kansas City will work on a delayed penalty. Kansas City did score a third-period goal on a delayed penalty in last night's game. As Mavericks will move it ahead, as a penalty, I believe, is going to be on Nathan Burke. As the Mavericks cross center ice, they enter the zone. Kansas City's McKenna skates around the net. He gets pushed by Bocage. Taking him off the puck was Fitz, I believe. And so that'll do it, make that Burke. I think the penalty is on Burke as play is stopped. 16:39 left in the second. As Burke, I believe, is going to get 2 minutes for tripping as 2 Mavericks collided with each other, as I think they're going to show the penalty as Burke just dropped Kansas City probably as he knocked down number 28, Cade Borchard. Either a trip or a hook, one of the two. Either way, Burke's going to the box with 16:39 left in the second. We didn't get to see the referee's signal as Burke shakes his head back and forth in disgust as Kansas City goes in the power play for the first time tonight. Mavericks are 20.7% on the power play this season. Hayhurst wins the draw for the Mavericks. Kolkoski on the left side will shuffle towards his right, drop it off from McKenna, back to Koski, over to McKenna, one-timer, and a score as Jeremy McKenna gets his 13th of the year as he pumps his right fist in the air as the Mavericks score very early in the power play to extend the lead to 3-1. Koski is going to get the main assist, which will be his 26th assist this season as they were playing catch for a little bit up top. Then they got to McKenna, and he just fired a blast past Dante Januzzi. It's actually his left arm that he pumped in the air after the goal. As Januzzi just kind of slid towards his right, and the puck ended up towards his left a little bit more. Good shot by McKenna, who's been one of the best goal scorers in the league since he rejoined the Mavericks from the AHL's Coachella Valley Firebirds. So it's 3-1 Mavericks. Both teams now have a power play goal tonight. 3.5 minutes into the second period. As draw at center ice is won by Stapley. Won it over Patrick Curry, who's been one of the best players in the league. He's an MVP candidate. As Utah moves it ahead, but it's taken away by Curry. As the Mavericks with a 2-goal lead get it back to Curry. So push it to his left. Mavericks enter the zone. Schumbart skates towards the near corner as a big collision. As Wesley collided with 2 Mavericks. Utah diagonal pass towards the near side to nobody in particular as it skips into the Maverick zone. And it's now icing on Utah as the arm is raised by the linesman. 16:06 is left in the second. On the power play goal, it looks like Koski and Patrick Curry both got assists. McKenna scored 3:29 into the second period. And it was within the first 20 seconds of the power play. It's been a high-scoring series so far, and certainly an exciting one, especially if you're a neutral observer and just want to watch some good hockey. Max Neal will take the draw against Tucker Robertson. Robertson's got some experience with Coachella Valley. Only 20 years old. He looks like he's going to be a good one. First-year pro out of Toronto, Ontario. So watch out for that. Remember the name Tucker Robertson. Draw one by Kansas City, but it bounced off a defenseman back to neutral ice. Mavericks will reset as they have it bounce off their stick at the Utah line. Kansas City will back it out into their own end as they spread the ice 4 minutes into the second period. As they advance it to center ice, Mavericks loses. They were entering the zone, and that was Robertson, the 20-year-old speedster. Wesley loses it, but he one-hands it ahead as Neal will throw it towards Aragon, who will tap it off the far boards. Kansas City out of neutral ice near their bench will move it across. Mavericks under the zone. Ryan Devine will bounce it off of Wesley. Well, it looks like the ice surface is playing a little bit rough up there. As Fitz gets it towards Neal, back to the right side. Grizzlies skate around. Shot saved by LaFontaine. I think that was taken by Messner. As the puck lifts high into the air, it bounces in the Grizzlies zone. And it's taken by Quinn Wickers, who will backhand it around Utah's net to Stucker. Stucker outlets it ahead as it bounced off a Grizzly at the Kansas City line. Puck goes back to the Utah line. Stucker diagonals it as it skips off the ice, off the far boards. Mavericks will chip it back to center ice. But it's picked off. Utah will skate towards the far goal line as they dance around. As Wickers gets it around, chasing after it is Penner. As Penner gets held up behind Kansas City's net, he gets it to Fitz, who's trying to get it back towards Penner. As Fitz has it flub off his stick, it goes back to the Mavericks. Kansas City enters the zone. 3-on-3. They'll tap it off the far boards. Now the Mavericks around Utah's net. Grizzlies kick it towards the near corner. Kansas City keeps it. They throw it up top. Nate Konepke, lefty shot, and is blocked by Wickers. Now the Mavericks try to feather one out in front. It bounced off a stick. As Mavericks still in the attack zone, roll it around the net. As Kansas City trying to kick it out in front. It bounced off the side of the net. Battle behind Januzzi. As the Grizzlies skate towards the near corner, battling for the loose puck. As they get held up along the near side, Fitz throws it to the high slot. Kansas City keeps it in. As Aragon had lost his stick. Now action in the far corner. 2-on-2 scrum. Wickers over there, but Kansas City comes out of the pile with a puck. Mavericks all thought about the Michigan goal, but Grizzlies cut them off. As Mavericks get back towards the far side, Curry was thinking about a Michigan goal, but Utah was there defensively. Left wing, lefty shot. Saved by Januzzi. That was taken by Patrick Curry. As Kate Borcher slashed Wickers after the whistle, Aragon grabs Borcher by the back of the jersey and say, hey, that's enough. Borcher having some words for Aragon. 13:56 left in the second. It looked like Curry was thinking about the Michigan, but the Grizzlies cut in front before he had a notion to fire away. It's 3-1 Mavericks as they scored a power play goal as they're up by 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm. And our lights on. It's the power behind the team. And a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Jeremy McKenna's on hat trick watch. He's got 2 goals tonight. He scored 7-11 into the first, and on the power play, 3:29 into the second. He extended Kansas City's lead to 3-1. Back in 15 seconds with a face-off as the Mavericks lead by 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Mavericks' new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Draws in the Grizzlies zone. Near circle as Brett Stapley will take it against Jacob Hayhurst. Draw goes towards the far side. Kansas City gets the loose puck, and they'll roll it along the boards. David Cotton gets pushed in the back as Januzzi looks over his left shoulder. Now Kansas City skates towards the near side with the puck as they get it up top. Mavericks dance around. Number 19, Brahani, who's got an assist tonight, throws it towards the left side. Righty shot, saved by Januzzi. He holds on as the shot was taken by Cole Koski, who's had a pretty good game. Koski with 1 assist. He fired away from the left circle, but Januzzi made a glove save with 13:36 left in the second. Dante so far stopped 10 of 13 as some Grizzlies players pat him on the pads. Josh Wesley talking things over with Cole Gallant and Nathan Burke. Draw taken by Gallant. It's won by Kansas City. As Brahani throws it towards the middle, Kansas City has a tap off their stick. Battle in the far corner as Gallant gets it towards Burke, and Maverick is laying down near Wesley. Now Kansas City's going and attacking Josh Wesley. As now we got a lot of action in the far corner as Wesley was nearby and Maverick was down. David Cotton took it up and wanted to get a piece of Josh Wesley. The only guy separating Cotton. Now Cotton reaches his left arm out trying to get after Wesley. The two linesmen settle in. As Josh Wesley must have done something off the screen to, I believe, Jacob Bahaney. Looks like Wesley's going to get a penalty with 13:28 left in the second. So Kansas City, we believe, is going to get a power play up 3-1. You're about a third of the way through the second period. As David Cotton looked like he was pretty upset at Josh Wesley. As looks like Jacob Hayhurst is headed towards the locker room as he's skating on his own, the trainer walking behind him. So looks like Hayhurst must have gotten a hit from Josh Wesley. Tad O'Had, the Kansas City head coach, as he shakes his head up and down. Wonder if there was blood drawn there by Hayhurst, if it's going to be more than a 2-minute penalty. As Tad O'Had talks with assistant coach Riley Wazlowski, who's a longtime former Rapid City defenseman. Dylan Fitz looking things over at center ice with one of Kansas City's team leaders. It's Cole Koski. Koski 1 assist tonight. I don't think whatever Wesley did, I'm not sure we got a good look at it live, and I'm not sure they're going to show us a replay either. As if Hayhurst did draw blood, and if it was off of Wesley's stick, it's possible it's going to be more than a 2-minute penalty. As Dylan Fitz talking things over with Marc-Olivier Phaneuf, the referee. He's the same ref that I believe did all 3 games in the Utah Wheeling series this past weekend at Maverick Center. Now he'll go and talk with Grizzlies head coach Ryan Kanasowicz in a dark suit jacket, white shirt, and kind of a colorful tie, a multicolored tie. Christian Horn looking on as well, the Grizzlies assistant coach. As Josh Wesley, the Grizzlies captain's in the penalty box with 13:28 left in the second period. It's the Mavericks 3 and the Grizzlies 1 here in the middle of a 3-game set. Now Phaneuf is going to go talk with Tad O'Had. It's my guess if it was blood from Hayhurst, from Wesley's stick to Hayhurst, it'd be a double minor for high sticking, but it looks more complicated than that. Kansas City doesn't look like they're arguing. They're just shaking their head up and down, meaning that must be good news for them. As Wesley in the box just kind of looking things over. He's one of 6 defensemen for Ryan Kanasowicz's crew tonight. Wesley, the son of longtime NHLer Glenn Wesley. Glenn Wesley played 20 seasons in the NHL. He was a 1989 All-Star and a 2006 Stanley Cup champion. 5-minute power play. Looks like they gave Josh Wesley a major. So 5 minutes are on the board. Kansas City has the puck. They won the face-off. They lead 3-1. Mavericks towards the far side. They get it up top to the right. As Mavericks push it towards McKenna, who's on hat trick watch. He's already got 2 goals. He'll throw it to the near goal line. Now across, one-timer to score. And that's Patrick Curry, who picks up his 27th of the year. And it's now a 4-1 game. Well, the Mavericks have tried that play a few times where they got the puck on one side and then just quickly threw it back towards the other side from the goal line. And really the tough thing, if that pass gets through, and it looked like it went from Borchard towards Curry to the back of the net, you let that pass get through, it's going to be a goal just about every time. Kansas City tried that a few times yesterday and were unsuccessful, but Borchard was able to get that pass across to Curry, who put it away. Curry gets his 27th of the season. The power play continues as Josh Wesley got a 5-minute major. Mavericks have the puck. They lead 4-1. This one could get out of hand in a hurry. The Grizzlies got to do the job here on the penalty kill. As Kansas City can score in bunches. They're already at their season average. As the Mavericks cross center ice, McLaughlin will move it to the far side. They'll drop it off as Kansas City enters the zone. There you've got the power play. Cotton gets it up top. Mavericks will shuffle towards their left as Robertson feeds it to the right point. Now Kansas City gets it back to Robertson just outside the left circle. He gets it across. Kansas City's Cotton couldn't handle it cleanly. He gets it back, throws it up top. Now to Robertson, who throws it across. Penner gets a stick in the way as it goes to the far corner. As Mayhew battles, Texture on two knees. He gets back to his feet. Kansas City skates in. Far goal line. Shot saved by Januzzi. Grizzlies will toss it to the far side. It's cut off and kept in by McLaughlin, who will move to his left. Mavericks throw it to the far side. Kansas City gets it to McLaughlin. High slot. As he'll shuffle towards his left. Now he gets it back to the far side. The puck skipped off the ice. Now across towards Devine. Devine fires towards the net. It goes wide. Make that Tucker Robertson, number 29. Now Kyle Jackson, high slot. Fires lefty shot. Saved by Januzzi. Rebound. Grizzlies toss it to the near corner. It stays in play. Mavericks keep it in the zone as Robertson gets pushed by Aragon, but Robertson just skates towards the right side, pivots, and throws it back to the high slot. McLaughlin skates towards his left. Now gets it back to Robertson, the 20-year-old. Fires towards the net, towards Jackson. Jackson lefty shot misses wide. 3:12 left in the major power play. Kansas City gets to McLaughlin. So move it to the right side. Kansas City gets it across. Now up top as McLaughlin. One-timer saved by Januzzi. Rebound shot. Saved by Januzzi again. Grizzlies get it. They couldn't clear it out. As McLaughlin left side, dance around. He'll feed it to the right point. Now back to McLaughlin on the left side as he surveys. Now he moves to his right. He'll get it towards Walker. Back to McLaughlin. High slot lefty. Shot misses wide as ricochets off the backboards. Kansas City's had the puck in the offensive zone for a year and a half. Slot lefty. Shot goes wide. Grizzlies get it. They couldn't clear it out, though. McLaughlin in the far point. He'll skate towards his left. Now move it back to the right side. Kansas City takes a righty shot. Saved by Januzzi. Rebound goes back to David Cotton in the far corner. Cotton towards the net. Now he throws it back up top far side. Now they chip it towards McLaughlin. Long shift for both teams. Walker gets to McLaughlin. High slot lefty shot. Saved by Januzzi. And Dante absorbs the body shot after the whistle. David Cotton trying to bully Kyle Mayhew. Now the linesman's got Cotton in a headlock. So Mayhew was able to get a left with his glove on. As Cotton just doing what he can to try to get a dirty, greasy goal. 10:45 is left in the second period. Mavericks lead 4-1. Josh Wesley got a boarding major, 6:32 into the second period. So that's why he got the major, 5 minutes for boarding. He didn't get a game misconduct, it looks like, so it looks like after the major penalty, he'll be able to re-enter the action. Mavericks lead 4-1. Grizzlies had a tough time getting the puck out of the zone. The only thing that stopped play was the save by Januzzi. As Kansas City now looks like one of the linesmen, the linesman's going to have to get some tape over his wrist. It looked like he might have drawn blood. Dropping the puck is Russ Call, the linesman, wearing number 40. Nathan Burke will take the draw against McKenna. McKenna's got 2 goals tonight. Mavericks lead 4-1. Kansas City wins the draw as Curry's in the high slot. He'll drop it off. Now across to McKenna on the left side. McKenna dances around just outside the left circle. Now he feathers it up top. Now back to McKenna. One-timer. Saved by Januzzi. Dante gathered it with 10:29 left in the second as he stops play. 2 minutes and 1 second are left in the major power play as Josh Wesley got a major penalty for boarding. Boy, McKenna's got a beautiful shot. It almost looks like it rises as it gets towards the netminder. As McKenna's a pretty good player. Kansas City's got some outstanding scorers on their team. Cole Gallant will take the draw against Patrick Curry, who's one of the leading candidates for the league MVP award. Grizzlies win the draw, and they clear it out as it rolls along the far wing boards. LaFontaine behind his net. He has stopped 12 of 13, so he'll push it towards the far side. Kansas City spreads the ice, skating from right to left. As the Mavericks skate towards the near side. Now they'll carry it across center ice. Mavericks will drag it into the zone onside as they'll toss it off the end boards. Curry around the net with speed towards the far side as he gets pinned around with Stucker as a scrum over in the far corner. Kansas City gets it, and they'll throw it up top now towards McKenna. One-timer saved by Januzzi, and Dante dives and holds on. Boy, what a stop by Januzzi as McKenna didn't get all of the one-timer from the left circle. As Januzzi made a glove save, then bobbled it for a second, then somehow the second chance. Borchard had a second chance, and then somehow Januzzi was able to glove it. What a stop by Januzzi, as quick as a cat. As it bounced off his glove, and then Borchard. Boy, that second look, Januzzi with an unbelievable save as Borchard just fired it right into Januzzi's glove. We're past the halfway point of the game as Kansas City leads 4-1. Penner will take the draw as Utah wins the faceoff. Mayhew gets double teamed in the near corner. McKenna takes it away. As the puck gets pushed towards Koski, who moves it across. One-timer saved by Januzzi. Grizzlies get it, and they'll throw it to the right point. Kansas City keeps it in. Mavericks skate towards the far circle. As they get up top to Koski, he's in the high slot. Koski over to McKenna. McKenna just outside the near circle. Throw it to the near goal line. Now down the middle, Schoenbart swings and misses. Penner gets it and clears it out. Less than a minute left in the major power play. As Utah makes a line change, Kansas City gets some new skaters in as well. 9:15 and counting left in the second. Mavericks cross center ice. They get around Burke as they enter the zone. As they chip it to the right point. As they skate towards their left and get it to Kyle Jackson, number 8. Jackson drops it off. Now goes back up top. As McLaughlin feeds to the right side. Now back across towards Walker. He couldn't handle it initially, but it gets off the boards. And they'll push it up top for McLaughlin, who gets it to Walker. Walker skates towards the near goal line. No, he directs it back towards McLaughlin. As he'll push it across. Mavericks get it across to Jackson. Left side shot kick saved by Januzzi. As Kansas City hacks away, but Januzzi's able to get it back and cover up. 8:44 left in the second and 16 seconds left in the major power play. Kansas City has scored once during the major power play. As Januzzi made the initial save, it bounced over. Cotton didn't get much on it as he just kind of slid it past Januzzi, the first-year pro, who played with Portland in the WHL over the last 5 seasons. Backup goaltender tonight is Arvid Holm. Will Cranley actually saw him earlier today here at Mavericks Center. He's the third goalie. As a draw won by Utah as they skate around Januzzi's net towards the near side. As Grizz will sail it all the way down towards LaFontaine, the Kansas City goaltender, as LaFontaine covers up as the puck trickled towards him from the far corner. 4 seconds left in the power play, and then Wesley will come out of the box. Grizzlies did travel an extra defenseman in Jordan Stone, who I believe took warm-ups for Utah but wasn't in there. And you note that because anytime there's a major penalty, the league's going to take an extra look at it. We didn't get a chance to see it, whether it was suspension-worthy or not, but obviously the league's going to take a look at it after the game. As Curry takes the draw against Brandon Cutler, this faceoff's won by Kansas City. Out of the box is Josh Wesley. We're back to 5-on-5 skating as Kansas City gets the center ice, and they'll throw it in as the puck got air under it. Wesley gets the puck, and he got to be careful as Kansas City might go after him. Mavericks down the middle. Lefty shot goes wide as Wesley will push it towards the far side. Grizzlies will skip it out to Stapley. As Stapley will bounce it across as it goes to the Kansas City line. Utah chases after the loose puck, and they get it as Mayhew drops it off for Bocage, who gets taken off the play by McKenna. As Kansas City back in their own zone, but it's Grizzlies that have the puck. Utah pivots, left circle, righty shot is blocked away. Kansas City gets the skipping puck at center ice. 4-on-3, Mavericks throw it to the right circle. Now they center it out in front. Shot! What a save by Januzzi. It's still 4-1 Kansas City, but Januzzi's made some big saves over the last 3 minutes. Utah trying to get it to Cutler. Pass didn't connect, and icing is on Utah with 7:41 left in the second. It's the Mavericks 4 and the Grizzlies 1. Kansas City's up to 27 shots. Grizzlies have 13, and obviously the Mavericks got a ton of shots during that 5-minute major. So Kansas City's up to 16 shots in the second period. The Grizzlies have 2. Tucker Robertson scratches his right knee. Now he crouches down low for the face-off against Brett Stapley, the second-year pro out of the University of Denver. Stapley wins the draw towards his college teammate Kyle Mayhew. They both won a national championship 2 years ago. Mayhew over to Stapley, or make that Cutler. It fumbles off his stick. Kansas City gets it, taking it away, but Kansas City gets it back. Backhand shot. It's the side of the net. As that was taken by, couldn't quite tell who that was. Grizzlies carried out to neutral ice. Stapley directs it to the far side. It bounced off of Bocage. The Grizzlies look like they're switching up forward lines to try to find something that fits. As the Mavericks will carry it out to neutral ice, and then they'll move it towards the near side. Kansas City across the center. They'll tap it in. And it looks like they dumped it in from their own territory as play is stopped. And Marc-Olivier Duquette and the Mavericks are called for icing with 7:08 left in the second. Remember, it's the second of a 3-game set. Sunday afternoon is going to be a 3 o'clock start in the Mountain Time Zone, 4 o'clock locally in Kansas City. Pre-game coverage will begin at 2:50 on the Grizzlies Hockey Networks. Max Neal will take the draw. He's got Mick Messner to his right. Messner's been outstanding over the last 4 games, but Kansas City wins the draw this time. Mavericks have a strong edge in the face-off circle, it appears. As Kansas City tattoos it off the near boards. It goes past Kyle Jackson, but gets redirected, no icing, as Jacob Semick skates around Januzzi's net. They'll outlet it to the Utah line, and it goes all the way into the Kansas City zone. Mavericks are making a line change. Semic was firing it towards the line change. Kansas City didn't touch it, though, for a chance of a too many men on the ice penalty. So Mavericks cross center ice, 2-on-2. Now they enter the zone. Cotton loses it as he was skating towards the near corner. Stucker pushed it ahead, but the Mavericks somehow kept it in. Schumbart gets pushed by Neal as Schumbart gets back to his feet after Neal pushed him down. Now Neal gets it towards Wickers around Utah's net. Wickers now in the far corner. So he'll saucer it out to center ice, and the puck didn't chip off anything at neutral ice, and Utah gets called for icing with 6:21 left in the second. It's the Mavericks 4 and the Grizzlies 1 as Ryan Devine gets the puck and he'll loft it ahead as action comes back towards Dante Januzzi. Jack LaFontaine trying to keep himself busy. He's only seen 2 shots here in the second period. LaFontaine, 26 years old, 6'3", 209. Linesman Zach Carson drops the puck. Fake dropping the puck. Curry takes it against Max Neal. Patrick Curry, 1 goal tonight, 27 on the season for Kansas City. Draw one by the Mavericks. High slot. Lefty shot is blocked away. It stays in play, but everybody stops skating. Let's see. Neal and Curry looking at each other. We know that Max Neal had a face-off violation in last night's game. This play just kind of stopped randomly with 6:17 left in the second. Timeout on the ice. Mavericks are up by 3. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice, more amazing food, more value, from huge breakfasts to delicious lunches and hearty dinners. Black Bear Diner has more for you. So get more when you want it, the way you want it, and get it today.
Good old-fashioned family food, Black Bear Diner. Black Bear Diner.
Kansas City 4, Utah 1. Mavericks have 2 goals in the first, 2 in the second. Josh Wesley scored 18:54 into the first period for Utah's lone goal, with Robbie Stucker and Nathan Burke getting the assists. Kansas City has outshot Utah 27-13, including a 16-3 edge in the second period. Grizzlies won the draw but couldn't clear it out. As action in the Grizzlies zone, Robbie Stucker will move it ahead. As Bokosh crosses center ice, he diagonals it to the left. Pass connects. Nathan Burke, left wing. Lefty shot goes wide. It stays in play. Kansas City will saucer it ahead as the Mavericks enter the zone 3-on-3. Kansas City skates around Januzzi's net. Now they feather it out in front. Mavericks will bounce it over to the high slot as Kansas City will kick it off the near boards. Goes to Gallant. Gallant skates down the middle. And he'll chip it towards Burke as he enters the zone. Burke, right wing. Lefty shot. A save by LaFontaine, who just casually snatched it out of the air with 5:40 left in the second. Kansas City leads 4-1. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Smith's always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Smith's app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
Kansas City leads 4-1. If you hear some noise in the background, no, I'm not at Cable Dahmer Arena. I think the merchandise line at the Toby Mac concert, oddly enough, is forming right near the Grizz Cave as we're hanging out in our palace. As the draw is going to be in the Kansas City zone. Penner takes the draw, but it's won by Kansas City. Boy, Mavericks have had a good face-off advantage here so far as Kansas City enters the zone 3-on-3. McKenna throws it towards the far wing boards. He gets hit by Mayhew. Now down the middle, righty shot saved by Januzzi. Rebound shot. And the goal light goes off as Kyle Jackson and the lights go off, but play continues. As looked like Kansas City was able to get a centering pass through. Jackson believes he had scored. The goal light went off. The lights started flickering back and forth. And so they had to stop play. It didn't look like any of the officials were able to spot it. They show a replay, centering pass towards Jackson. And, it didn't look like the puck crossed the goal line. It looked like it kind of surrounded the goal line, went from near post to far post, just slid along the goal line, but it didn't cross. Good call by the officials to spot that. In particular, Marc-Olivier Phaneuf, who signaled no goal. I imagine they're going to go to video replay just to see because the goal light went off and the lights started flickering back and forth and everybody was celebrating as if Kansas City had scored a goal. But it appeared on the replay we saw that the puck never crossed the goal line. It got pretty close and just kind of slid along the goal line from the near post over to the far post, but it never crossed the goal line from what we saw. So it's 4-1 Kansas City. I believe they're going to take a look at it on video replay. Well, maybe they're not, or maybe they already did. Everybody was going nuts, but Marc-Olivier Phaneuf, you got to give him credit. He looks like he made the right call there, signaling no goal. And that's exactly what it was based on the replay we saw. I know, people get on officiating when they make the wrong call. It looked like they're pretty close call, and it looked like he made the right call on that occasion. Penner will take the draw against Tucker Robertson, far circle of the Grizzlies zone. And it's won by Utah as Grizz will carry it out to neutral ice. They cross center and chip it to the left side. Grizzlies get it back towards Mayhew, who centers the Fitz, but he gets cut off. Great defensive play by the Mavericks, who will tap it off the near boards. Kansas City crosses center ice. They enter the zone as they veer off to the right. Mavericks towards the far corner as they get hit by Penner. Mayhew trying to poke the puck away. Kansas City keeps it. They skate along the goal line. Now around Januzzi's net. They try to center it out in front. It bounced off a Grizzlies skate. Kansas City gets up top as Devine, or make that Brandt, pushes to the right side. Now Mavericks fired towards the net. Everybody hacking away along the far goal line as Utah trying to clear it out. Kansas City keeps it in. Down the middle, righty shot and a score, and that's Jeremy McKenna. And if you're a Mavericks fan, get your hats and toss them wherever you are as he gets his hat trick. His third of the game and 15th of the season. And now the lights start flickering back and forth as it's a 5-1 game. So the puck just kind of pinballed around, and eventually they dropped it off for McKenna, who was all alone in the slot, and he just roofed it over Januzzi's left arm. So the hats start flying on the ice as Jeremy McKenna gets his third of the game. 1 in the first period and 2 here in the second. It's 5-1 Mavericks as the lights continue to flicker on and off as the hats continue to be picked up. One guy in a backwards hat is going to work picking up one hat after another as Jeremy McKenna with a big smile on his face. So back-to-back games, a hat trick's been registered. Yesterday it was Dylan Fitz for the Grizzlies, and today it's Jeremy McKenna scoring 3 goals in the first 2 periods of play. So it's a Mavericks 5 and the Grizzlies 1. Kansas City's outshot Utah 28-13. All the hats have been picked up. As it draws at center ice, Stapley's out there with Cutler and Berg. Kansas City wins the draw. This one's gotten away from Utah. As Kansas City dumps it in, Grizzlies on their own end as they get it towards Teixeira on the near side. As he'll chip it ahead to Stapley, it bounced up at him. Mavericks will push it ahead. Hayhurst skates towards the left side as he went to the locker room. Now he throws to the near goal line. Koski shot saved by Januzzi. Grizzlies moving out to center as Cutler gains the line, stops before he gets to the corners. He pivots. Now he moves it across. Grizzlies far goal line, skate in. Lefty shot is blocked away. Stays in play. Everybody was looking around and stopping for a couple seconds as Utah gets tripped up. No call as Koski far side will backhand it across. Marc-Olivier Duquette in the near corner as he gets pushed by Stapley. As Grizzlies trying to hack it away from Duquette, and it goes towards Hayhurst. He was the one that went to the locker room after Wesley got the boarding major, and Hayhurst back in there as Kansas City crosses center ice 2-on-3s. They'll chip it to the left side as they enter the zone. Stucker cuts off the pursuit of Kansas City's Duquette as he was skating towards the corner. Mavericks along the near side, center towards Duquette. Lefty shot saved by Januzzi. Rebound goes to Berg. Berg has a kick towards Stucker. He's in the near circle as he'll outlet it up ahead. Grizzlies have a glance off their stick. Well, if the pass would have connected tape to tape, Gallant could have had a breakaway. 3:18 and counting left in the second. Now Kansas City still has it. Devine in his own end. Diagonals it to center ice near the bench area as the Mavericks chip it to the left as it goes to Curry. Curry backhands it out in front. Kansas City around the net. Wraparound shot. Saved by Januzzi. Stucker might have gotten a piece of it. Kansas City far side as they dance around the right side as they'll move it towards Ryan Devine as he'll push it towards his right as the Mavericks will drop it off for Devine. He's now on the right point. He backhands to the corner. Either Borchard or Robertson gets pushed as Kansas City skates along the far goal line. They chip it out in front. Pass doesn't connect as it goes to it's Bocage who gets it to Gallant. Gallant crosses center ice 3-on-3 as he gets spun around. Bocage in the far corner deep in the Mavericks zone. Is Bocage strong with the puck. Now he'll pivot and go back towards the far corner. Now he reverses back and throws it to the left point. Mayhew left point shot is blocked before it gets to LaFontaine. Burke slot shot. That's blocked by Devine. Devine will carry it out to neutralize himself. Devine, a big defenseman, crosses center ice. No lofted in. Devine goes 6'5" and 240. Big time hit in the far corner as the Grizzly goes flying. Utah moves it out to center ice. Puck bounced off of Bocage. And LaFontaine skates towards the near goal line, and he'll tap it off the end boards himself around his own net. Kansas City diagonals it off the near boards. 2 minutes left in the second. Wesley gets it. He crosses center ice, and he'll spin it along the wall towards the far side. Action in the Maverick zone as Berg throws to the far goal line. Grizzlies around the net. Wraparound shot. Saved by LaFontaine, and he holds on. I believe that is Adam Berg skating around the net looking for the wraparound, but LaFontaine closed up the front door instantly and cut off Utah's pursuit. As I show a replay, it was actually Max Neal looking for his first pro goal. Well, he thought he had it on the wraparound, but LaFontaine got his pad and closed up the front door. And there was really no, unless Neal was able to elevate the puck, no way he was going to score there on LaFontaine. Thought it was Berg, but it was Max Neal. Grizzlies have switched up the forward lines here in the second period. 1:48 left in the second. Mavericks lead 5-1. Jeremy McKenna already has 3 goals for the Mavericks. Draws on the near side. Neal will stay on the ice and take the draw. He's out there with Berg and Messner. Draw one by Utah. Messner firing towards the net. It's blocked away as it kicks out to center ice. Grizzlies backing out in their own end, skating from left to right. As they move it ahead near their bench area. Berg will loft it in as it taps off the end boards. Kansas City gets around Max Neal. Now turnover left side. Lefty shot. A save by LaFontaine. Well, Kansas City turned it over. Grizzlies had a wide open look. Slap shot from the far circle, but LaFontaine makes a glove stop with 1:31 left in the second. As taking that shot, well, I couldn't quite tell who it was. It might have been Neal. Neal was cutting towards the net. It turned out to be Adam Berg that took the shot from the left side. As Berg's had a pretty good stretch for Utah over the last couple months. We talked about the Grizzlies' improved play since the Christmas break. Adam Berg's been one of those players over the last 19 games. He has 15 points, 6 goals, and 9 assists. And he's played hard each and every shift he's been out there. He's certainly been a great glue guy for the Grizzlies. As action deep in the Kansas City zone, 1:17 left in the second. Mavericks have it deep in their own end, skating from right to left. Kansas City gets it towards Cotton. A glance off of his stick to center ice. Teixeira will back out into his own zone. Now feather it across to Semick, who diagonals it towards the near side. It goes off the boards. Grizzlies get it. They enter the zone. Utah gets pushed as it goes from one corner to the other. Fitz will skip it back towards the near side. Now it's behind Kansas City's net. Messner gets hit. As the Mavericks, David Cotton gets it. He'll tap it off the near glass. It bounces off of Stucker's glove. It goes to the Utah line. Grizzlies going to back towards Stucker. As Fitz goes flying, he gets back to his feet as Stucker diagonals it to the left. 2 Grizzlies almost collided. As Kansas City back deep in their own end will get the loose puck. 40 seconds left in the second. As the Mavericks lose it. Dylan Fitz skates towards the right circle. He centers it out in front. Kansas City picks it up. Now Fitz with a shot and a score. As looks like Dylan Fitz gets his 12th of the year and 4th of the series. As Fitz had a 2-on-1, looked to center it and bounced back to Fitz. And Fitz fired away past LaFontaine. As a centering pass kicked off the Maverick back to Fitz. And that's about the best centering pass you'll see. Bouncing off of Jared Brandt back to Fitz, who put it away as Dylan Fitz remains red hot. He gets his 4th of the series, but based on the score, it's now 5-2 Kansas City. There wasn't much celebrating done by Fitz and company, as they know they got a lot of work to do. Kansas City wins the ensuing face-off. They'll cross center ice, and they'll drag it around the boards. Puck on the far side goes back to center ice. Like Grizzlies' pursuit at center ice was cut off by a referee, of an official of all things, one of the linesmen. Mavericks deep in their own zone, 15 seconds left as they get it to the near side. Kansas City will push it ahead. It bounced off a stick. Now bouncing puck. Grizzlies clear it back to center. Utah chasing after it, but Kansas City gets the one-on-one battles. They'll toss it off the far side. 2 seconds left. Grizzlies skeet towards left side. Centers it to Stapley. He couldn't get a shot off as he got back checked. And we get some pushing and shoving as Patrick Curry and Brett Stapley aggressively going after each other. As everybody towards the near sides found a partner, as everybody trying to separate Curry and Stapley, as Curry has Stapley in a bear hug. The linesman trying to separate them. Russ Call's got his work cut out for him as he tries to cool down Curry. Curry is hot at Brett Stapley. It's 5-2 Mavericks after 2 periods. As the fans over in Kansas City to their feet, as they're pretty excited. Curry very upset at Brett Stapley. Like Grizzlies looked like they had a shot, and then Stapley got a centering pass from the far side, and then Curry with a back check made sure that Stapley couldn't get a shot off. You don't normally see Brett Stapley get hot like that. He's usually a guy that keeps his cool, but for some reason, Patrick Curry and Brett Stapley each got pretty upset at each other. But both teams will cease and desist and head to the locker room. There was a big-time congregation along the near side. Tyler Penner talking to the referee as both teams will head to the locker room. Hey, things could get pretty chippy there in the third period. We're through 2. Kansas City leads 5-2. It's the Jeremy McKenna show as he has scored 3 goals for Kansas City. Utah got a first period goal from Josh Wesley and a second period goal from Dylan Fitz. We'll come back and recap the first 2 periods. Once again, the score after 2, it's the Kansas City Mavericks 5 and the Utah Grizzlies 2.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh. That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Stop in for our Founders Celebration Sale and save up to $150 on select sets of Ford tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1950.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice, more amazing food, more value, from huge breakfasts to delicious lunches and hearty dinners. Black Bear Diner has more for you. So get more when you want it, the way you want it, and get it today.
Good old-fashioned family food, Black Bear Diner. Black Bear Diner.
Mavericks' new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Second intermission over at Cable Dahmer Arena, and the Mavericks lead the Grizzlies 5-2. I'm Tyson Whiting, hanging out the Grizz Cave. I'm actually pretty close to the merchandise line at the concert that's at Mavericks Center this evening. You know, when you start your broadcasting career, you're never quite sure where you're going to be next to a merchandise line, one time zone away from where the game is. Wasn't on my bingo card, but hey, it is what it is. We're having some fun here on a Saturday night. Game 2 of a 3-game set. For the Grizzlies, it's game 2 of 6 straight on the road. Remember, the Grizzlies will be back at Mavericks Center 13 days from now as they take on the Rapid City Rush in the opener of a 3-game set. And then Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals come to town the following week. Well, Kansas City scored the first 2 goals of the night. In fact, they scored on their first shift of the game 24 seconds into the contest as Justin Nottbahr got his 9th goal of the season, which means he now has more goals than Fighting Majors this year. He's got 8 Fighting Majors, and now he has 9 goals. Jacob Hayhurst and Jacob Brahani with the assist. So a pair of Jacobs. They spell their names differently. Hayhurst spells his first name Jacob, and Brahani spells his first name Jakob. Either way, the two Jacobs for Kansas City get the assist 24 seconds into the game. The Mavericks extended the lead 7-11 into the first period as Jeremy McKenna got his first of 3 goals on the night. Tucker Robertson and Kyle Jackson got the assists. Utah got on the board on a power play tally as Marc-Olivier Duquette got a roughing minor 17:52 into the first, and 1 minute and 2 seconds into the power play, it was Josh Wesley who scored his 14th of the year. And, Nathan Burke was net front. It looked like it wasn't one of those clean one-timers that just sailed airborne past the goal line, past the goaltender. It was one of those that got redirected somewhere along the way. Almost looked like it got redirected by Burke, but, could have gotten redirected either by a Maverick or it might have bounced off of LaFontaine and into the back of the net, as Burke did a good job getting in front of the crease and acting as a screen to take away the vision of LaFontaine. Either way, right now it's Josh Wesley that gets his 14th of the year. The 6 power play goals for Wesley break a tie with Brandon Cutler for the club lead. Robbie Stucker and Nathan Burke picked up the assists, 18:54 into the first. Kansas City led 2-1 after 1 period of play. Mavericks got a 5-minute major power play as, that was a little bit later. Nathan Burke got a hooking minor, 3:21 in. The Mavericks scored 8 seconds into the power play. That was McKenna's second of the night, with Cole Koski and Patrick Curry getting the assist. McKenna connected on a one-timer from the left circle. Later in the second period, Josh Wesley got called for a boarding major, 6:32 in. So Kansas City had a 5-minute power play. They only scored 1 goal on that 5-minute major, and that was 17 seconds into the power play. And Patrick Curry got his 27th of the year with Cade Borchard and Jeremy McKenna getting the assists. Later in the second period, McKenna completed the hat trick, 15:20 in, as he scored on a one-timer from the slot. It was his 3rd of the game and 15th of the year. Tucker Robertson and Nate Konepke with the assists. And so for Tucker Robertson, he has 2 assists and a +2 rating. For McKenna, he's a +2. He's got 5 shots and 3 have found the back of the net. So back-to-back games, we've seen a hat trick. Yesterday, it was Dylan Fitz scoring 3 goals for Utah. Tonight, it's Jeremy McKenna. Speaking of Dylan Fitz, he got Utah back on the board, 19:28 into the second. As it was interesting, it looked like a 2-on-1. Fitz tried to center it to Penner. It bounced off of Jared Brandt back to Fitz. Fitz just got the puck, and by the time he got it back, he was in prime scoring position about 5 to 10 feet away from LaFontaine, and he just roofed it over LaFontaine's glove, which is on his left side. And Fitz got his 12th of the season and 4th of the series. Right now, it's listed as unassisted. The time of goal, 19:28 into the second. It looks like after the period was over, Brett Stapley got 2 minutes for slashing and 2 minutes for roughing. Patrick Curry got 2 minutes for roughing. And it looks like if the box score on the ECHL app is correct, Kansas City is going to get a power play to start the 3rd period. Special teams have certainly played a big factor. Kansas City 2 for 3 on the power play. Grizzlies are 1 for 2. Dante Januzzi's been busy here in the first 40 minutes of play. Stopped 25 of 30, but he made some acrobatic saves in the second period. Jack LaFontaine has saved 15 of 17. For the Grizzlies, among their 17 shots, Gallant and Cutler each have 3. Dylan Fitz has 1 goal and 2 shots. Adam Berg also has 2 shots. And then 1 shot each for a handful of Grizzlies, including Neal, Brett Stapley, as well as Wickers, Aragon, Wesley, Bocage, and Keone Teixeira. So we'll see if the Grizzlies have a comeback in them. Remember, last night, both teams had 3 goals in the 3rd period. Utah led 4-1 after 2 periods, and then they took a 5-1 lead, and then Kansas City responded with 3 unanswered. Utah's going to need a similar type of 3rd period that Kansas City had to try to climb back in the game. But if the ECHL box score is correct, it looks like Kansas City will start the 3rd period on a power play, as Brett Stapley got 4 minutes worth of penalties, and it looks like Patrick Curry just got 2. We'll come back and go over some scores from around the league, as well as some NHL scores First, some stats of the first period. Grizzlies with 7 penalty minutes. Kansas City with 4, according to the that's through one period that they show, or at least the graphics wrong. It's through 2 periods. But we believe Kansas City is going to start the third period on the power play. We'll come back and give you some scores from around the world of sports as the Mavericks lead the Grizzlies 5-2 after 40 minutes of play. This is the Rio Tinto Kennecott Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Smith's always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Smith's app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Smith's, fresh for...
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm. And our lights on. It's the power behind the team. And a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Second intermission over at Cable Dahmer Arena. And Kansas City leads 5-2. Let's go over some Mountain Division scores through 2 periods. Wichita and Indy are tied at 3, as Wichita has gotten goals from Russell, Merrick, and Nolan Neen. Wichita has got former Grizzly goaltender Trevor Gorsuch in net. He played with Utah in the 2020-21 season. He has saved 16 of 19. The special teams have certainly played a big factor as both Wichita and Indy have 2 power play goals. Wichita's won 4 in a row. They're looking to make it 5 in a row. And after 2 periods over at Indiana Farmers Coliseum, they are tied at 3. Greenville leads Rapid City 3-2 as both teams scored 2 goals in the second period. For Rapid City, Alex Aliardi and Mason McCarty have their goals. Looks like Pulowski is in net for Rapid City. He has saved 17 of 20. 1 power play goal for Greenville. Rapid City doesn't have one, and that's the difference in the game. Greenville leads Rapid City 3-2. Other Mountain Division action. Idaho and Tulsa, late first period. That game is tied at 2 as Tulsa scored the first 2 goals of the game. Jendanov and Butcher scored for Tulsa, and then Jade Miller and Colton Keller added goals. It looks like it's a high-scoring start. Late first period, tied at 2. Tulsa has outshot Idaho 15-6. In other action in the league, 6 minutes are left in the second period. Iowa and Cincinnati are tied at 1. Late second period, Maine and Toledo. Toledo now has a 3-2 lead as they just scored. Toledo's got a pretty good record of 29, 10, 4, and 5 as they lead the Central Division with 67 standings points and a 698 point percentage. Wheeling leads Kalamazoo 2-0 that game after 2 periods. As looks like Jay Lee, one of the 2 Lees, that's the defenseman Lee, and Frasca, a guy that didn't play in this series last week, have the Wheeling goals. As Wheeling has outshot Kalamazoo 27-15, and they lead after 2 periods 2-0. No score at Kia Center. Atlanta and Orlando scoreless. Other action in the league, Worcester leads Florida 3-2 after 2 periods. No score after 2 between Reading and Adirondack. Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals hold on for a 2-1 victory over the South Carolina Stingrays. As Norfolk got goals from Garrett Sargis and Cameron Nault. If the name Garrett Sargis sounds familiar, that's because he was a Grizzly 2 years ago. He played 5 of the 6 regular season months. He was released in March of 2022, but Garrett Sargis just recently signed with the Norfolk Admirals, and he's done a pretty good job as he's up to 3 goals on the season. I know everybody's looking forward to that series next month as Norfolk comes to town. That's going to be games 4, 5, and 6 in the 6-game homestand for Utah a few weeks from now. The dates of that Norfolk series are going to be March 16th, 17th, and 18th. As I believe that's going to be a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. Saturday and Monday are going to be 7:10 starts, and Sunday, March 17th, is going to be at 3:10. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of former Grizzlies are on that club, including Garrett Sargis, as well as Keaton Jamison, who's wearing number 16 for the Admirals. Former Grizzly equipment manager Mason Wayland is now the equipment manager of the Norfolk Admirals. And obviously Jeff Carr, the head coach of the Admirals, was a Grizzlies assistant back in the 2016-2017 season. Carr's got some connections to the Ogden Mustangs. And, it's going to be interesting to see the Admirals in town next week. The last time Norfolk was here was for a one-game stop in the start of the 2017-2018 season. At that point, former NHL head coach Robbie Fedoruk was the head coach of the Norfolk Admirals. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com for that series. Remember that the Grizzlies' next homestand is going to be a 6-game set, 3 games against Rapid City. It's going to be a couple weeks from now, Friday, Saturday, and Monday. Don't forget that Friday, March 8th, is the Grizzlies' next home game. It's an AFCU Friday, and it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be the first time that Rapid City has been here since January, when the Grizzlies swept them in a 3-game set that was capped off by the big comeback 4-2 victory on January 27th on Guns N' Hoses night. One other final in the league, Newfoundland gets a 4-3 shootout victory over the Trois-Rivières Lions. We'll come back and go over some NHL scores on this Saturday night as Kansas City leads Utah 5-2. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Stop in for our Founders Celebration Sale and save up to $150 on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1950.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck.
About set for third period action over at Cable Dahmer Arena. We believe Kansas City is going to start the third period on a power play as Brett Stapley got 4 minutes worth of penalties. He got a slash and a rough, and Patrick Curry just got 2 for roughing. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, are in action. They trail Toronto 3-2 after 2 periods. Also after 2, Vegas and Ottawa are tied at 2. Also after 2 periods, Boston leads Vancouver 2-0. First intermission, Dallas leads Carolina 1-0. Games have gone final in the NHL. Red Wings defeat the Blues 6-1. Canadians over the Devils over the Canadians 4-3. Tampa Bay defeats the New York Islanders 4-2. Rangers over the Flyers 2-1. Florida gets an overtime goal. They defeat Washington 3-2. Starting in about 1 hour from now, Calgary is at Edmonton, Nashville at San Jose, Minnesota at Seattle. Seattle's the NHL affiliate of the Kansas City Mavericks. And at 8:30, Anaheim is at the LA Kings. I'll see what the third period has in store. Now, remember, there was that major penalty by Josh Wesley, and we did see some fisticuffs at the end of the second period. You wonder if it's going to spill over, especially if the game and the outcome of the game had been decided at some point there in the third period. Things start to get a little bit chippy here in the middle of a 3-game set. Grizzlies have had a lot of success on the road. Obviously, it's a tough start tonight, But over the last 15 road games, Utah's got a record of 8-6-1. Over the last 14 games overall, the Grizzlies are 10-3-1. As we mentioned in the pregame report, the Grizzlies have really been outstanding since the Christmas break. Before Christmas, Utah had a record of 8-17, and they were in last place in the Mountain Division. But over the last 25 games since the Christmas break, Utah is 16-8-1, and they are now in fourth place in the Mountain Division. Allen doesn't play tonight, so regardless of what happens for the Grizzlies, they will stay in fourth place in the Mountain Division. Jeremy McKenna already has 3 goals tonight, as they threw quite a bit of hats on the ice after his 3rd goal. Kansas City talking things over. Hayhurst with Kolkoski. Schoenbart, Bradley Schoenbart's also out there, as we believe Kansas City will start the 3rd period on the power play if the ECHL app box score is right. As Stapley should be in the box, serving 4 minutes worth of penalties. Patrick Curry, who would be on this power play shift for Kansas City, he's in the box serving 2 minutes worth of penalties. Grizzlies will skate from right to left as we see it from Flow Sports. Your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. And I do beg for a little bit of patience as we're just trying to watch the game on the monitor, and there are some things that, some details that do go missing from time to time. Mavericks win the draw as they start a 2-minute power play. As Kansas City skating from left to right in an orange jersey with black on the shoulders and black on the arms. As they'll cross center ice, white numbers, white lettering, pretty sharp-looking jerseys. They wrap it around the boards towards the near side as Schoenbart collides with Teixeira. As Kansas City's power play continues, 2-on-2 battle in the near corner. Now the puck kicks back towards Kansas City, who feeds it to the middle. Utah picks it off, and they'll slice it off the near wing boards all the way back towards Jack LaFontaine, the Kansas City goaltender. LaFontaine to stop 15-17 as they'll drop it off. Kansas City will carry it out to neutral ice. Now they'll cross center. Kolkoski will back it out. So Mavericks under the zone with some momentum. Near side, big-time hit delivered by Utah. Penner couldn't clear it out. He's the one that delivered the hit. As Kansas City near side, Schoenbart gets taken away by Penner, clears it out. Great shift by the Grizzlies Iron Man. As Koski gets at his blue line. As the Mavericks still in their own end. 55 seconds left in the power play. As Kansas City crosses center ice now, they throw it to the left side as the Mavericks will chip it in. As they spin around, Utah will wrap it along the near wing boards. Kansas City keeps it in. They'll fire it in deep behind Januzzi's net as Mavericks along the near side keep it in right point. McLaughlin will shuffle to his left and drop it off as Borchard gets it across. Puck bounced off a Burke stick. It stays in place. He goes after the loose puck. He battles with Koski as Koski gets held up by Burke. Now the Mavericks get it up top as Kansas City gets pushed towards the line. Burke hustles after it as Burke trying to clear it out as he pushes the Maverick. As 12 seconds left in the power play. Kansas City gets to the near circle. Now centers it out in front, swing and a miss. Kansas City couldn't connect as the puck lifted on the stick of number 13, David Cotton. Now Cotton gets it back, slot, lefty shot, saved by Januzzi. Rebound goes back towards Robertson. Robertson, the 20-year-old, around the net. He pivots back towards the near side. Coming out of the box is Cutler representing Stapley as the puck lifts over Januzzi and back towards the end boards. Kansas City skating 5-on-5, left wing, righty shot, saved by Januzzi. Rebound towards the far side. Burke delivers a hit on Cotton as Cotton hacks away as the puck goes towards Cutler off his stick. Kansas City one hands it ahead, but the Grizzlies now clearing out to center. Utah makes a line change as we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Kansas City will push it ahead slowly. Now back deeper on their own end as Marc-Olivier Duquette near side pivots, and he'll throw it back towards the far circle as Kansas City will move it out to center ice. The Mavericks will chip it back towards Duquette at the line as he'll cross center ice. He'll enter the zone. Duquette gets hit by Mayhew. Mayhew trying to be strong with the puck as Duquette loses it. Grizzlies get it back as they skate from right to left. Utah crosses center. They chip it to Cutler, who gets to the Kansas City line, and he'll loft it in. Berg chases after it. He gets pushed along the near corner. Kansas City will drift it towards the far side. Mavericks over there with Duquette. As Kansas City trying to win a 1-on-2 battles, they'll push it ahead. Mavericks chip it diagonally towards the middle. Now the Mavericks get to Koski in the Grizzlies zone. He'll skate towards his left. Shot saved by Januzzi. As the Mavericks lose it as Mayhew will move it out to center. Looking for Messner, who steps over the line. Konepke pokes it away from Messner as Messner is trying to skate around him towards the Kansas City net. Messner back to his feet, but the Mavericks have the puck as they'll loft it ahead, and the Grizzlies chasing after it. It's going to be icing on Kansas City with 16:29 left in the third. Make sure to come watch the excitement of Utah Grizzlies hockey as they've got a 6-game homestand beginning on Friday, March 8th against Rapid City. It's an AFCU Friday with tickets start just $10 when you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Mavericks Center box office. Robertson will take the draw against Utah's Mick Messner. Had 4 assists 8 days ago in a victory against Wheeling. Semick left point, fires towards the net, save, rebound, shot, and it looks like Grizzlies have scored, but the referee waves it off. Well, it looked like the puck lifted over the goal line, but no goal. We play on 5-2 Kansas City. Gallant around the net towards the far side, chips out in front. Grizzlies score! Great pass by Gallant over to Mick Messner, who kicks it in. And it's now a 5-3 game. As Messner had to lift it, went towards the goal line, but didn't cross it. Play continued. Marc-Olivier Duquette, Phaneuf was in the right place, but Mick Messner eventually put it away on a great pass from Cole Gallant. So it's now a 5-3 game with 16:12 left in the third. They show the replay. Gallant skated around Kansas City's net, dropped it off for Messner, and he put it away. Boy, great play behind his back as Gallant just dropped it off behind his back for Messner. LaFontaine had anticipated Gallant keeping the puck towards the far side. That was a beautiful pass to Mick Messner, who put it away for his 13th of the season. Gallant's going to get his 25th assist of the campaign and second in the series. So Mick Messner sporting a beard. Looks like more of a goatee than a beard. As looks like the referee's looking it over on video replay. It didn't look like the first one, the first possible goal didn't look like that went in, but the second one certainly did with Messner. We had mentioned him kicking it in. He didn't kick it in. It looked like a pretty good goal. But they're looking it over right now with 16:12 left in the third. So if the goal does stand, it's a 5-3 game. And we haven't seen anything on replay to say that it wouldn't stand. Everybody's standing around center ice, waiting for the referee's decision. Marc-Olivier Phaneuf, as I believe the goal is going to stand. I do not hear any of the audio from Kansas City, any of the natural sounds. Phaneuf is going to skate towards Ryan Kanasowicz and talk things over. Kanasowicz in a colorful tie. As Kanasowicz shakes his head back and forth. Doesn't look like in any sort of disagreement. So the goal does stand. It's going to be Mick Messner's 13th of the year. He scores .348 into the period. Cole Gallant's going to get an assist, which would be his 25th of the season. So it's now 5-3. McLaughlin talking things over with Marc-Olivier Phaneuf. The Grizzlies now scored a goal in each of the 3 periods. Penner will take the draw against Nolan Walker as it's won by Kansas City. They skate from left to right as it's a 2-goal game now. Loose puck at center ice. Fitz will fire it in as it bounces off the end boards. Kansas City back their own end 4 minutes into the third period. As they'll skate along the near side. Now they'll backhand it across. The Mavericks cross center. Nolan Walker enters. They'll drop it off. Mavericks get back towards the left side. Lefty shot goes wide as they're looking for Walker out in front. He lost his balance. Aragon races to center ice. He crossed the red. Now he crossed the blue. He's in the attack zone. Skates towards the corner. Now he stops. He tries to find the puck. Kansas City gets it. Walker will chip it across as Kansas City gets to neutralize. They cross center, and they'll shovel it in. Januzzi gets on 2 hops to the ice. He gets it towards Wickers. Wickers gets back checked, but pushes ahead towards Neal. Over to Aragon. It glanced off his skate. Kansas City in the attack zone. Left point. They fire a shot that's blocked away by Robbie Stucker. Stucker, far side, will pitchfork it out to center. It goes back towards Brandt, who throws it back in. Januzzi behind his net will drop it off. Far corner. Grizzlies get pushed. Kansas City will bounce it off a Grizzlies skate. Utah gets it back as they skate around Januzzi's net towards the near side. As Utah gets it towards Gallant, who's played a good game and he's played a good series. Well, Gallant's had a good year. He'll move it ahead. Grizzlies enter the zone as Wickers skates towards the corner. Lefty shot saved by LaFontaine. He holds on with 14:54 left in the third. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. You're talking about guys that can create offense. That's certainly been Cole Gallant. He can generate scoring chances out of nothing. As they show Josh Wesley, he was chasing after a loose puck in the far corner, and he got pushed by Ryan Devine. As they show that play, there wasn't much to the hit there. Just 2 big guys going after a puck over in the far corner. Not the most relevant replay we've seen in Grizzlies history, but it was a good shot by Ryan Devine. As Wesley lost his balance a little bit, Grizzlies win the draw. They'll throw it off the backboards. Utah delivers a big hit as Adam Berg tosses Kansas City off the glass. Now the Mavericks will cross center ice and they'll chip it in. As Utah skates after it behind their net, as they'll push it to the near side for Cutler, moves it ahead. As Stapley crosses center ice fresh out of the box, so one-handed in deep. Berg chases after it as the puck skips around the net for Nate Konepke. Konepke will diagonal it towards the near side. It ricochets off the near boards. Chasing after it and getting its Mayhew. Skates around Utah's net. As Grizzlies looking to make a comeback attempt here. 6 minutes into the third period. As Mick Messner has the third period goal, Grizzlies skate towards the far goal line. As they get pushed, Messner in the back. As Messner skates towards the far corner, as he continues to get pushed. Messner strong with the puck, gets it towards Stapley, who moves it up top, but Kansas City picks it off. Mavericks will cross center ice. Grizzlies back defensively as Kansas City right wing ships it off the near boards. Tucker Robertson feathers it out in front. Jackson couldn't handle the pass. Grizzlies come back the other way. 3-on-2. Utah races into the zone. Max Neal, right side, fires towards the net. It goes wide. It might have gotten redirected by a Maverick. Messner in the area, pushes up top, but it's taken by Robertson. Mavericks come back into the zone 2-on-2. Robertson veers off to the left. He stops to the point. Now he gets to the right side for Duquette. Lefty shot saved by Januzzi, and Dante holds on with 13:26 left in the third period. Mick Messner gets his 13th of the year from Cole Gallant, and the Grizzlies are trying to make a comeback attempt. It's Kansas City 5 and Utah 3. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh. That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Stop in for our Founders Celebration Sale and save up to $150 on select sets of Ford tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1950.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
The Mavericks 5 and the Grizzlies 3. Draws game in the Grizzlies zone. Both teams have 2 shots here in the third period. Kansas City's up to 32, Utah 19. As Mick Messner scored 3:48 into the third. Right now it's listed as unassisted. They should give an assist to Cole Gallant. Off the draw, McLaughlin's shot goes wide as he fired away from the right wing. As Kansas City will push it back up top. Mavericks in the attack zone over to McLaughlin, right side towards the near boards. So backhanded to the corner. Walker gets spun around. Curry around the net towards the far side as he stops in the corner. Now backhanded up top. Kansas City gets it towards McLaughlin, who throws to the middle. Now back towards McLaughlin, who pushes it across. Kansas City fires left wing lefty shot, saved by Januzzi. And Dante holds on with 12:57 left in the third. Attendance tonight, 4,483, 4,483. Last night, the attendance was 4,467. So an additional 16 people in the Kansas City area said to themselves, you know what, let's go to a hockey game. 16 more people tonight than they had on Friday night. Amazing how similar the two are. 4,483 tonight over at Cable Dahmer Arena. Draws going to be in the Grizzlies zone far circle. Jacob Hayhurst will take the draw as he talks things over with Jared Brandt and Cole Koski. Cole Gallant will take the faceoff for Utah. As the draw won by the Grizzlies, as they get it towards Nathan Burke. As he'll loft it out to center ice, Grizzlies gather it. Cole Gallant skates towards the far side, pivots. Now throws it back towards the Mavericks, but Kansas City picks it off down the middle. Mavericks have a 3-on-2 as they skate into the zone. They'll drop it off for Koski down the middle. Righty shot. It's blocked away by Gallant, who's been outstanding tonight. Utah moves it ahead to Burke at center ice. He gets back checked and divorcing the puck. As Kansas City will bank it off the near boards, and the Mavericks will push it into the zone. Kansas City stops in the right point, gets to Koski. Koski dances around the right side. Now he pivots and drops it off the stick of Bocage, who moves it ahead. Grizzlies 2-on-1. As Stapley enters the zone, gets to Bocage down the middle, take a righty shot, and he's It looks like he had scored. He does score. Bocage cuts into the lead as it was a 2-on-1 Stapley to Bocage to the back of the net. And it's now a 5-4 game. As Bocage bounced it off of LaFontaine's glove, and it trickled past the goal line. So Alex Bocage gets his third in a Grizzlies uniform, and we got ourselves a brand new game. It's 5-4 Kansas City, but the Grizzlies have scored 2 unanswered here in the third. In fact, the Grizzlies, you talk about the third period magic, and it looks like they're on their way to getting some more here as they have outscored opponents 23-13 in the third periods over the last 15 games. Right wing Stapley shot gets blocked. Grizzlies in the attack zone trying to tie it up. Utah rolls along the boards. Kansas City will clear it back to center. As it bounced off of Wesley's stick, he'll chase after the loose puck. He overskates it, though. Action in the Grizzlies zone as Kansas City, left side, will fire it around the wall. McKenna's got 3 goals tonight. He's in the right corner, but Utah cuts in front of him, and they'll push it ahead. Utah will skip it out to center ice. Pass connects as Utah enters the zone. Wesley will throw it in deep. Berg chases after it as he collides with number 24, Marc-Olivier Duquette. Kansas City will move it ahead as McKenna will bounce it off a Grizzly. Stapley will push it towards his left as Berg dumps it into the near corner as Cutler tries a spin move, but Kansas City gets there in front of Cutler as they'll throw it to the far side. Grizzlies back defensively as Kansas City will lift it as it skips off the near wing boards. Utah will get it back into Kansas City territory. Max Neal left side, lefty shot. And that one goes wide as it deflects out of play off the protective netting as play is stopped with 11:08 left in the third. So Brett Stapley now has an assist in back-to-back games. As Alex Bocage now has a goal in 2 of his last 3. It's 5-4 Kansas City, but the Grizzlies have the Mavericks on their heels right now. Draws in the near circle of the Kansas City zone. Taking it and winning it's Nolan Walker as the Mavericks will skate from left to right. Kansas City gets out to neutral ice. The puck skips as the Mavericks try to enter the zone. Utah pokes it back towards Mavericks territory, but Kansas City will throw it off the near wing board, the far boards. Teixeira gets the loose puck as he'll throw it to Semick, who slides it ahead towards Bocage. He moves it towards Neal, who gets spun around as he got hit pretty hard. He's back to his feet. Semick loses it as it's a neutral ice. The puck bounces off a few sticks. Kansas City will lift it in and bounce off a Bocage. Turnover, Kansas City skates in, righty shot, and it goes wide. Let's see, it looked like the shot never counted, though, as I wonder if Kansas City got a penalty on that hit on Max Neal. As 10:35 is left in the third period, Kansas City leads 5-4. As both teams head to their bench area, Ryan Devine will take a seat. As there was a turnover there, it looked like offside might have been the call, as the draw is going to be at neutral ice. We never did get to see the signal. Grizzlies get towards center ice, and they'll throw it in slowly, chasing after it's Kansas City. As Brandt behind his net will push it towards the far side as Kansas City will carry it out to neutral ice. Mavericks lose it at center. Grizzlies get held up near the bench area. Kansas City recrosses center. Utah pokes it back into Kansas City territory where the Mavericks cross center again and dump it into the near corner. Wickers try to get it towards Penner, but the puck stays along the near wall for Aragon. Now it goes to Penner. He will throw it near the Grizzlies bench area. Penner gets it. He crosses center ice. He'll skip it to the left side off the boards looking for Aragon. Aragon chasing after it, but Duquette gets it in front of him. Duquette rolls along the far wall. It's still in the Mavericks zone. Kansas City gets held up along the boards. Grizzlies gather it, fire towards the net. It's blocked away. Now Kansas City to the far side. We'll skip it to center ice. It goes past Kolkoski off the near wall. And it looks like it's going to be icing on Kansas City as we have 9 minutes and 36 seconds left in the third. What a high-scoring series we've had. Utah won 7-4 last night, and already it's 5-4 here. And it looks like action is just continuing to pick up. Draws going to be in the far circle of the Mavericks zone. Cole Gallant talking things over with Alex Bocage. We believe Nathan Burke is out there as well. Wesley and Mayhew, the defensive pairing. Kansas City wins the draw. They'll chip it ahead. Grizzlies keep it in. Utah high slot. Righty shot goes wide as ricochets off the backboards. Koski gets a good shoulder from Bocage. Bocage trying to get the bouncing puck. Burke feeds it up top to Mayhew. Gets it back towards Burke. Burke towards Bocage. who fires towards the net, saved by LaFontaine, and he holds on. What crafty play by Bocage, and after the whistle, Jacob Hayhurst and Nathan Burke have to be separated by the two linesmen. 9:15 left in the third. Boy, action picking up as Utah scored 2 unanswered in the third. It's the Mavericks 5 and the Grizzlies 4. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Radio Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice, more amazing food, more value, from huge breakfasts to delicious lunches and hearty dinners. Black Bear Diner has more for you. So get more when you want it, the way you want it, and get it today.
Good old-fashioned family food, Black Bear Diner. Black Bear Diner.
We got ourselves a fun one over at Cable Dahmer Arena as the Mavericks lead the Grizzlies 5-2. Jeremy McKenna has 3 goals and 1 assist for Kansas City. For the Grizz, they got a first-period goal from Josh Wesley, a second-period goal from Dylan Fitz, and third-period goals from Mick Messner and Alex Bocage. Draws give me the Kansas City zone. Grizzlies have outshot the Mavericks 4-3 here so far in the third period. As draw won by Utah as Burke gets it up top. Wesley over towards Mayhew, left side, lefty shot kick saved by LaFontaine. Rebound goes to Burke. He fires towards the net. It goes wide, stick side on LaFontaine. Grizzlies get it back to Mayhew. It glanced off his skate and it goes out to center ice. Mayhew gets the loose puck as he's back in his own zone. He gets it ahead towards Bocage, who loses his balance over to Burke, back to Bocage. He's on the left side, siren pass, shot saved by LaFontaine as Bocage was looking for a redirection, but instead fired it on towards LaFontaine. As the Mavericks one-handed into the Grizzlies zone, Utah diagonals it off the near boards. It goes to Burke. He drops off for nobody, gets it back, and now it goes to Bocage, who skates to the left wing. Puck drifts towards the corner. Bocage gets it back as he feathers it up top to Mayhew, who gets around a defender. Mayhew skates down the middle. Righty backhand shot goes a little bit wide as it tapped off a Maverick. Puck in the near corner. Berg in the area. As Stapley gets pushed. Berg trying to hack the puck away. Cutler in the area as well as it goes towards the middle. Kansas City gets it. Mavericks drag it out to neutral ice as they cross center and throw it in. Grizzlies spread the ice. Texera falls down behind Utah's net. Semick gathers the puck. About 8 minutes left in the third. He gets to Berg, who crosses center ice. He gets set. Stapley will tap it off a Duquette stick as the Mavericks will carry it across center ice, far side, as they'll throw it in. Januzzi behind his net cuts it off. He'll tap it off the far glass. Curry will throw it towards Walker. Curry and Walker collide and lose the puck. Wicker's behind Utah's net, will backhand it towards the far side. Curry hustles after it as he'll spin it along the wall towards the near point, taken by Berg, who moves it out to center, but he loses it. Borchard tosses towards Curry. Curry along the near board, surveys. Now it throws to Borchard behind Utah's net. He skates towards the far side. He'll get it up top towards Ryan Devine. Back to Borchard, left wing. Righty shot is blocked away as puck goes towards the near side. Stapley pushes ahead towards Berg, who gets hit by Borchard. Berg will backhand it towards Cutler. Cutler towards Wickers. He couldn't handle it. Wickers chasing after it. And no icing on the play. As Wickers gets the puck, he'll throw it towards the middle. Taken by Max Neal. Lefty shot goes high and over the crossbar as it bounces off the glass. Action in the far corner. Now Neal gets it back. He loses the puck behind Kansas City's net as Berg goes down. Hacking away as Mick Messner's already got a goal tonight. But it's Kansas City that gets the puck. They throw it to the far circle. Messner gets it back. He swings and didn't get anything on it as Borchard cut in front of him. Utah in the offensive zone. Mayhew throws it towards the middle. Lefty shot. Saved by LaFontaine. And he holds on. And after the whistle, Ryan Devine's attacking Max Neal. As Devine getting very physical with Neal. Fans in Kansas City excited. The referee breaks him up. Boy, Grizzlies had a pretty good look on a one-timer from the high slot. LaFontaine made the save. Neal sticking his tongue out like he's Michael Jordan. The shot was taken by Messner, almost a changeup. And then Neal out in front, hoping that LaFontaine had bobbled it for a second. He didn't. And big Ryan Devine tried to do a number on Max Neal, and the referee wouldn't let him. 6:41 left in the third. Kansas City leads 5-4. At that point, if you're Max Neal, you're just hoping that somebody for Kansas City loses their cool and picks up a penalty, as Utah's power play has been pretty good in this series. Let's see if any penalties were given out. I don't think there were, as Ryan Devine will skate towards the bench. If anybody would have gotten a penalty, it would have been him. As it looks like we'll continue to skate 5-on-5. Real estate is at a premium. Draw is going to be at neutralized Kansas City territory. Grizz have had a lot of offensive zone time here in the third period. It's the Mavericks 5 and the Grizzlies 4. Hayhurst will take the draw against Tyler Penner, the Grizzlies Iron Man. Penner wins the draw as Semick throws it in, but not all the way. Deep into the Kansas City zone as Duquette will push it ahead towards Schumbardt, who chases after it. He got a piece of it at neutralized as Wesley gets it behind Utah's net. Wesley will bounce it off the near boards towards Penner. Penner gets it, wearing an A on his sweater. He'll get to center ice and chip it in. Fitz chasing after it in the far corner as it bounced off a Maverick. As Fitz skates over there, he collides with McKenna. Now the puck goes towards the end boards. Fitz chasing after it, but the Mavericks come out with the puck. Kansas City will carry it out to center ice. They'll move it towards the middle. Bouncing puck. Semick trying to cut him off. Kansas City splits the double team. They'll take a shot and they score. The Mavericks get a big insurance goal as they split the double team out in front. The lights are flickering on and off, so we can't tell who it is. But the bouncing puck, Hayhurst split Wesley and Semick. He backhanded it off Januzzi and into the back of the net. Mama, there goes that man again as Jacob Hayhurst once again does the number on the Grizzlies. I think that's Hayhurst's second of the game and fifth against Utah this season. Jacob Hayhurst had 2 goals last night, 22 on the season. He gets a pat in the back from Tad O'Had, the Kansas City head coach, as it's a 6-4 game. Hayhurst gets the goal, Cotton and Duquette with the assists. So tough break for the Grizzlies. Hayhurst might be the fastest player on either team on the ice, and he put that speed to display, splitting the Grizzlies double team and firing a backhand shot past the goal line. Grizzlies win the draw, and the long-range pass doesn't connect, icing on Utah with 5:57 left in the third. So the comeback attempt for Utah gets a little bit tougher as Kansas City got that much-needed insurance goal to really slice the Grizzlies' momentum, as Utah really had a lot of momentum and a lot of offensive zone time with the score 5-4. But now it's 6-4 Kansas City. Stapley will take the draw against Tucker Robertson. Utah wins the faceoff. They skate from right to left. As they get towards neutralized, they try to chip it ahead. It didn't go very far as the puck is flubbed towards Stapley. He enters the zone far side, but everybody stops skating as it appears Utah's called for offside. Jacob Hayhurst kills the Grizzlies with the insurance goal, 13:56 into the third period. It's the Mavericks 6 and the Grizzlies 4. We'll find out how this one ends when we come back, as the Mavericks have a 2-goal lead late in the third period. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Mavericks' new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
At Black Bear Diner, you always get more. More choice. More amazing food. More value. So get more. And get it today.
Black Bear Diner.
It's the second straight high-scoring game in this series. Last night, Utah won 7-4, with Dylan Fitz scoring 3 goals tonight. It's Kansas City leading 6-4. Jeremy McKenna has 3 goals and 1 assist. Jacob Hayhurst has 1 goal and 1 assist. Utah wins the draw. They skate in. Left point, slap shot by Semick is blocked away by LaFontaine. Action deep in the Maverick zone near side is McKenna. Will hike it out of the zone. Puck gets good air under it as it's gloved and dropped at center ice. Grizzlies get it with Jacob Semick. So tossing off the far boards. Gallant gets towards Burke, who steps over the line. Burke gets hit. as Utah pushes towards a high slot for Semick, who drops it off. Teixeira fires towards the net. It's cut off by Utah. They backhand it out in front. It bounced off a Maverick, and Kansas City clears it out to center, and it goes between the Grizzlies defensemen into Utah's zone. Utah will spin it all the way towards the near side. It tapped off the near boards. Utah chasing after it. As they'll feather it up top, it's taken away by Kansas City as they cross center ice. Mavericks dump it in. Cade Borcher chasing after it. He's cut off by Stucker behind Utah's net. It goes to Berg near side. Berg moves it across as Stucker gathers it. Stucker's in his third team in this league. He'll throw it out in front. It's kicked away by LaFontaine. As Stucker is more of a pass out in front, but it just looked like a shot. As Kansas City chases after it, they center it out in front, and it couldn't be reached by Borcher. Mavericks over on the near side, centering pass out in front. Shot! And a great save by Januzzi as it bounced off his left arm. Berg moves it to center ice for Stapley. He loses it as he was entering the offensive zone as Duquette took it away. Mavericks dump it in. They make a line change, 4:15 and counting left in the third. It's the Mavericks 6 and the Grizzlies 4. Utah carries the neutral ice. Near wing diagonal pass, bounced off the boards. It goes to Cutler. Will fire it around Kansas City's net. It kicks out in front. Mavericks gather it as they'll drag it out to center ice 2-on-3. They cross center. Now they step over the line. Good speed. They get around Mayhew, who drags down to Maverick far side. It goes back to center ice. Kansas City tried to throw it in, but flubbed it. Grizzlies under the zone. Fitz drops it off for Penner. Penner gets it towards Aragon, who backhands it out in front. Fitz got occupied in front of the crease. He couldn't accept any pass. As Mayhew throws it to the middle, it's picked off by Kansas City. As Mavericks under the zone 2-on-3. Koski, right side. Righty shot. Glove saved by Januzzi. Dante holds on with 3:35 left in the third. Well, you know, with Kansas City, you're going to have to score quite a few goals to win with their high-powered offense. Utah's really matched them for the most part. Kansas City last night put together a strong third-period effort to try to climb back in the game, and Utah really put together a strong effort there. You know, you just kind of are worried that the Hayhurst goal kind of killed whatever momentum the Grizzlies had built up through the first 13 minutes of that third period. It's a 2-goal deficit. Grizzlies win the draw. Oh, the linesman got in the way as he cut off Teixeira's pursuit. Turnover, Kansas City backhand shot, saved by Januzzi. Boy, Kansas City got that scoring started. They got that play started as Teixeira lost the puck as he ran into the linesman. Linesman says, "I'm sorry." You know, he didn't mean to. But Teixeira lost the puck, and McKenna got a good scoring chance out of it. As Robertson will take the draw for Kansas City, and for Utah, it's Max Nils taking quite a few faceoffs here in the second half of tonight's game. Draw won by Utah. They'll bank it off the near glass. Kansas City keeps it in. They'll toss it off the linesman, who's been very active in this game, as linesmen seem to have been in the way all game. Grizzlies in their own end, as they'll push it towards the middle. It bounced. Well, we get a whistle now as everybody stops skating. As Jackson was in the area for Kansas City. 3:12 is left in the third. It's 6-4 Mavericks. As it looks like a Maverick is skating towards the blue line. Didn't see any penalty. Play just kind of randomly stopped with 3:12 left in the third. Draw's going to be at neutral ice in Grizzlies territory. Neal will take the draw against Nolan Walker. Neal aggressive. Walker cross-checks him in the back twice, no cause. Neal is pretty aggressive going after the faceoff. Now Neal crosses center ice. He gets blasted, but Neal's able to dump it in. As Kansas City deep in their own end, skating from left to right. Less than 3 minutes left in regulation as they're up by 2. As the Mavericks carried out to neutral ice, and they move it across. McLaughlin will just toss off the near boards to center ice. Grizzlies challenge, and Messner gets it, and he'll throw it in. Boy, Max Nils played hard tonight. You got to fill in any game now. He's going to get his first pro goal. As Kansas City crosses center ice, Borchard moves it ahead. Walker steps over the line, right wing. Righty shot, hits the post and goes wide. As Walker, one of those guys, doesn't take many shots, but he gets a good quality of his looks. Mavericks throw it in. Januzzi behind his net. As he'll cut it off. Everybody stops skating. 2:25 is left in the third. As Kansas City leads 6-4. I imagine Ryan Kanaswich is going to look for an opportunity to pull Januzzi for the extra attacker. As Curry comes off the ice, draw is going to be at center ice. Stapley will take it against Jacob Hayhurst, who picked up the big insurance goal, his 23rd of the season and 3rd of the series, as Hayhurst has 6 goals against Utah this season. Kansas City wins the draw. They lose it at center ice. Grizzlies with Mayhew. He's at neutral ice. He'll toss it across near the Grizzlies bench over to Wesley. Januzzi is still in there with 2:08 left in the third. As Wesley will throw it to his left. As Mayhew will push it ahead to Stapley. Stapley enters the zone near side. He gets it towards Mayhew. Mayhew gets it in the left point. Utah's net's empty, 6-on-5. As Kansas City leads by 2. Stapley surveys on the left side, throws it to the near goal line for Fitz, back to Stapley, moves it up top to Mayhew, back to Stapley. As Stapley will throw it to Fitz at the near goal line. Fitz surveys, now he gets it back to Stapley, who moves it to Mayhew. One-timer goes wide as ricochets off the end boards. Battle in the near corner as 2-on-2 battle. Utah chasing after it, goes to the left point. Mayhew keeps it in. He'll move it to his right. Righty shot. Save. Rebound. Shot and a score. As it's now 6-5. Fitz was out in front with Stapley and Cutler. The shot was taken from the right side by, I believe, Wesley. And it looks like Brandon Cutler is going to get the goal. As the shot just bounced off of somebody in front of the crease, and Cutler gets the rebound, and he gets his 23rd of the season. This one's not over yet. It's 6-5 with 1:26 left in the third. As the shot was taken from the right side, it bounced off of somebody in front of the crease onto Brandon Cutler, who put it away. So it's 6-5. Ryan Kanasowicz talking things over with Cutler and Wesley. Stapley talking with Mayhew. Can't see if Utah's net is still empty. 1:26 left in the third. I believe Januzzi's still in there, or he's back in there. It was a 6-on-5 empty net goal on the other Utah side. As Grizzlies enter the zone, Bocage, right side, fires towards the net. It goes wide. Kansas City chips to the near side. As Mayhew battles, Utah's net's empty once again. 1:08 left in the third. At 6-5. Grizzlies looking for the tying goal. As Cutler gets it towards the near side. Stapley gets up top to Cutler. Cutler left side, back towards Stapley along the near boards. Stapley chips it towards Cutler left side. Cutler skates towards the near corner. 2-on-2 battle. Kansas City trying to hack it away. 50 seconds left. Dylan Fitz gets it up top to Wesley. Over to Mayhew, high slot. Now to Stapley. Over to Bocage, back to Stapley. 42 seconds left. He gets to Mayhew. High slot, lefty shot is blocked away. Stays in play to the near side. As Kansas City holds up ground. Brandt over there with Stapley. Stapley, 30 seconds left. 6-5 Kansas City. Utah's got 6-8 skaters with an empty net. As Fitz towards the end boards. As the scrum continues, 22 seconds left. As Grizzlies continue to hack away. Fitz wins the battle as he gets it towards Stapley. Over to Mayhew. 15 seconds left. Back to Stapley off the boards. Bocage left side. Shot is blocked away, and it goes out of play with 11.8 seconds left in the third. Well, Grizzlies kept the puck in the zone, but the puck stayed along the boards for a good 20 seconds as both teams continue to scrum away. Looks like Utah's going to call their one timeout as they're going to drop a play. Biggest face-off of the game coming up. Great third period effort by the Grizzlies to come back in this game. They trailed 5-2 after 2 periods. As they scored 3 goals, they have scored 3 goals here in the third. Boy, how about that insurance goal by Jacob Hayhurst, though? That feels like, that looms large considering the Grizzlies were able to get one late in the third. Kansas City's Riley Wazlowski, the assistant coach doing most of the talking. Tad O'Had just surveying like a fan, watching Wazlowski. 11.8 seconds left in the third. Smoke him if you got him. As Utah looking for the tying goal. A crowd of 4,483, exactly 16 more than what saw last night's game. As they're fired up. Utah won the series opener 7-4. Grizzlies looking for that tying goal. I believe it's going to be the same 6 on the ice that were out there for Utah, which would be Mayhew, Wesley, Bocage, Stapley, Fitz, and Cutler. Draw on the near side. It goes into the near corner. Battle continues. 7 seconds left. It goes to Stapley. As it's pushed towards the middle, Kansas City takes it away. They'll skate to center ice. Walker fires towards the empty net. And it looks like they're going to give him the goal as Kansas City wins. It's either 6-5 or 7-5. It doesn't matter as the Mavericks get the 2 standings points. It looks like the goal does count with Nolan Walker as he scores before the buzzer, and the final score officially looks like it's going to be 7-5. as Grizzlies just couldn't get a shot off as the faceoff went into the near corner. Then there was a scrum for about 5 seconds. Utah tried to nudge it towards the middle, and Kansas City poked it away, and that was all she wrote. So good effort by the Grizzlies to try to climb back in it. Looks like they're going to have one faceoff there if they're going to say that Walker scored before the buzzer sounded. As the lights continue to flicker on and off, 7-5 is the score. They're going to have one faceoff here to conclude things. As Walker skated to center ice and fired towards the net. And, well, so they drop the puck right there at center ice, and that does it. As Kansas City gets a 7-5 victory. Brandon Cutler scored 18:34 into the third to get the Grizzlies within one, but just couldn't find a way to get that tying goal. Utah did have a ton of offensive zone time over the last couple minutes, and you have to like the effort, but it's Kansas City that comes away with the 2 standings points. The Mavericks record goes to 37, 10-2-1. Grizzlies fall to 2 games below the 500 mark at 24, 26-1. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds. Once again, the final score from Cable Dama Arena. It's Kansas City 7 and Utah 5.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Well, the Mavericks get a 7-5 victory in the second straight high-scoring game of this series. I'm Tyson Whiting. Kansas City got off to a fast start as Justin Nockbar scored his 9th goal of the season 24 seconds into the contest. Jacob Hayhurst and Jacob Brahani got the assists. 7-11 into the first, Jeremy McKenna got his first of 3 goals on the night to extend Kansas City's lead to 2-0. Tucker Robertson and Kyle Jackson got the assists. Utah got on a power play late in the first period, and Josh Wesley scored 18:54 in with Robbie Stucker and Nathan Burke getting the assists. Kansas City led 2-1 after one period. They are now 26-3-1 when scoring first. Early in the second period, McKenna scored a second of the game, 3:29 in. That was a power play goal. Cole Koski and Patrick Curry got the assist. It was 8 seconds into the power play when McKenna made it 3-1. Kansas City got a major power play after Josh Wesley got a boarding major, 6:32 in, and 17 seconds into the major power play, Patrick Curry scored his 27th of the year. Cade Borchard and McKenna got the assists. And then McKenna scored his 3rd of the game on a one-timer from the slot, 15:20 in. McKenna picking up his 3rd of the night and 15th of the season. Tucker Robertson and Nate Konepke got the assists. Grizzlies scored late in the second period. Grizzlies had a 2-on-1. Fitz tried to center it. It bounced off of Jared Brandt, and it trickled back to Fitz. And then once Fitz got it back, he was in prime scoring position, and he called his own number and fired it over the left shoulder of Jack LaFontaine. That made it a 5-2 game, and that's where it stood after 2 periods. Grizzlies did a great job early in the third period making a comeback attempt. Messner, it's listed as unassisted, as looked like the off-ice officials didn't care at all about giving Utah's assist on a lot of their goals tonight. Messner with his 13th of the year, listed as unassisted, and that made it a 5-3 game. And then Utah to 2-on-1. Stapley centered it to Bocage. Bocage fired it off of LaFontaine's glove, and it trickled past the goal line as LaFontaine couldn't handle it. And that made it a 5-4 game, and at that point, Utah had all sorts of momentum. You think about the 6 minutes between Utah's 4th goal and Kansas City getting what turned out to be the huge insurance goal. Utah did have quite a few chances there in that 6-minute stretch, but just couldn't find a way to get that tying goal past LaFontaine. And you talk about maybe the fastest guy on both teams, Jacob Hayhurst, getting the puck, split a Grizzlies double team, then fired a backhand shot. Looked like it bounced off of Januzzi, but then trickled past him for Kansas City's 6th goal. At the time of Kansas City, what turned out to be the game winner by Hayhurst, 13:56 into the third, with David Cotton and Marc-Olivier Duquette getting the assists. Utah had their net empty, 6-on-5, and Brandon Cutler scored there should be some assists on the play. The shot was taken from, I believe, Wesley on the right side. And right now it's listed as unassisted. Kansas City on-ice officials seem to care about their goals and giving out assists, and it looks like the Grizzlies are going to have to add assists manually later on, as it looked like a perfect rebound goal, and there should be some assists added to the Cutler goal, but right now it's listed as unassisted. So that was 18:34 into the third when Cutler scored to cut into the Kansas City lead 6-5, which means the Hayhurst, what looked to be an insurance goal at the time and was a big insurance goal, that turned out to be the game winner, as it looked like it was a good thing Kansas City had a good insurance plan, as the Hayhurst goal turned out to be the game winner. And then 19:59 into the third, Nolan Walker scored on an empty net, which right now is listed as unassisted with his 25th of the year. And that was all she wrote, as Kansas City comes away with a 2-goal victory. Grizzlies did have an 11-8 edge in the shot count in the third period, but Kansas City outshot the Grizzlies 38-28 for the contest. But, it was a good effort by the Grizzlies to come back. But obviously, when you're down 3 goals heading into the third period, especially against a good team like Kansas City, it's going to be tough to overcome. It was kind of like yesterday, Kansas City putting together a solid comeback attempt, but the Grizzlies held on for the victory. Tonight, the roles were reversed, and it was Kansas City that comes away with the victory, 7-5 the final. So the winning team in each of the first 2 games of this set have scored 7 goals. And it's just one of those things. It was a pretty fierce battle. Obviously, when we're playing a team like Kansas City with as much offensive firepower as they have, you're going to be in for a test every night. But it's just one of those. I think for the Grizzlies, you have to feel good about hanging in there and, showing that strong character to not give up, especially down by 3 goals heading into the third period. They easily could have melded in and just said, hey, not our night. But the Grizzlies really fought hard to climb back into the game. It just seems like in every matchup the Grizzlies have had with Kansas City, the speed of Jacob Hayhurst has just made a big difference. And it made the difference here in tonight's game, certainly with that goal that he scored, 13:56 into the third. Individually for the Grizzlies, the tough thing is it looks like there should be some goals that the Grizzlies had where there should be assists added, but looks like they're not being added. So I imagine you're looking at maybe a 1-goal, 1-assist performance from Josh Wesley. Right now it's listed as goals from 5 different players. And it looks like right now it's listed as nobody having a multiple-point game for Utah. Once again, the Grizzlies did get goals from Josh Wesley, Dylan Fitz, Mick Messner, Alex Bokaj, and Brandon Cutler. Cutler got his team leading 23rd goal of the season with 1 minute and 26 left in regulation. 3 stars of the game. Third star is Jacob Hayhurst, who scored 1 goal and 1 assist. He was a -1. He only had 1 shot, but he made it count, as that turned out to be the game winner, 13:56 into the third. Patrick Curry is the second star. He had 1 goal and 1 assist. He was a +1 and had 4 shots. He's been one of the best players in the league, and he's the number 2 star. Jeremy McKenna with 3 goals and 1 assist and a +2 effort with 6 shots on goal. He is the number 1 star of the game. Last night, attendance was 4,467. Tonight, another 16 people convinced themselves to go to a hockey game. Attendance 4,483. Time of the game was an unfortunate 2 hours and 33 minutes. Special teams certainly played a factor. Utah was 1 for 2 on the power play. Kansas City was 2 for 3. Well, tomorrow's going to be the rubber match. It's going to be interesting. We've had 2 high-scoring games. Now, third game in less than 48 hours, you see a lot of fatigue, and especially with the effort that both teams have put out there in the first 2 games. Who knows if we're going to see nearly as high a scoring of a game as we saw here tonight, and as well as last night with Utah winning 7-4. It remains to be seen. Grizzlies have had some outstanding performances offensively. I think you have to like the way the power plays performed. They went 2 for 4 last night, and they were 1 for 2 here this evening. Obviously, the penalty kill. Kansas City is a pretty good team with a lot of skilled forwards, and they were 2 for 3 on the power play tonight. So, we'll just see what happens here tomorrow, and we'll see see if Arvid Holm ends up starting in net. Dante Januzzi was busy and active tonight, stopping 31 of 37. For Kansas City, LaFontaine stopped 23 of 28. The other goaltender, Kel Morris, normally a good goalie with good stats, but he really struggled in last night's game. So there's a lot of intriguing storylines heading into tomorrow. And for the Grizzlies, the series will be on the line. They won Friday. Kansas City gets one tonight. We'll see if Utah can come away with the victory. They've played well since the Christmas break. As in the 26 games since Christmas, the Grizzlies are now 16-9-1. Because the Allen Americans didn't play, the Grizzlies don't lose too much ground in the division race. Rapid City did lose 6-2 tonight, so Rapid City doesn't jump up a little bit closer to Utah. And it looks like Tulsa, though, the unfortunate thing from the Grizzlies' perspective is Tulsa now leads Idaho 7-2. That game after 2 periods. That's right. Tulsa scored 5 unanswered second period goals as they lead Idaho 7-2. So it looks like Tulsa will jump up 2 points ahead of Utah in third place, as Tulsa is 3 points ahead of Utah right now for third place. And it looks like with a 5-goal lead for the Oilers after 2 periods, they will now be 5 points ahead of Utah in the race for third place in the Mountain Division. Well, that'll about wrap things up here as we're hanging out at the Grizz Cave. Looks like the merchandise line here near the Grizzlies team store has died down a little bit. I'm going to make sure I head home before the concert ends to try to beat traffic. Tomorrow we got a fun one. Pre-game coverage will begin at 2:50. Face off at 3:05 in the Mountain Time Zone as it's the rubber match of the 3-game set. Utah is now 2-3 against Kansas City on the year. Mavericks with the win. Their record goes to 37-10-2-1. With the loss, the Grizzlies are now 24-26-1. Once again, in 2 hours and 33 minutes, and in front of a boisterous crowd of 4,483, Jeremy McKenna scored 3 goals and 1 assist, and Jacob Hayhurst had 1 goal and 1 assist. Patrick Curry also had 1 goal and 1 assist. The Grizzlies got goals from Josh Wesley, Dylan Fitz, Mick Messner, Alex Bocage, and Brandon Cutler. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, not necessarily the final outcome. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon, 2:50 pregame show, 3:05 face-off. I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is.